What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in. Happy Wednesday. This is Discussions with Destro, episode 9, and we got Mr.
IamSinister
with us here for episode 9. How's it going, dude?
Going good, man. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm glad to finally get to a chatting stream. I will say, I was saying I'm kind of glad I'm not playing guitar tonight.
Oh, come on. You want to play some Within the Ruins, right?
No, that's why it's the background music that you can't hear right now for the entire set. Just there you go. I got you.
That's a good choice.
Three albums worth playing in the background.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, man. I wish I could play. I mean, you know, if I was that guy.
It's not like Joe's that good or anything. He's not. Dude can't shred.
Joe is a freak.
He's not that good.
Like at least Polyphia stuff, I can kind of like improv over it because it's kind of like vibey.
Christ.
But like I can't even improv over anything Within the Ruins. It's too chaotic.
Yeah, I don't know how Joe's brain works. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. Like the shit he writes.
It's very progressive. It's like it's so much more progressive than people realize.
Yeah.
But
Polyphia, man, that's a whole nother beast, man. They're insane.
A couple of them I think are from another planet.
Yeah. You see the videos? Tim was like 14 or 15 or maybe even younger, where they were like at some fountain in some like city just shredding, and I was like, Jesus, man,
it's crazy. It's so weird. Yeah, it's really, dude. It's funny too because they like didn't ever plan to play live initially, and they just wrote like really complicated music just because they could. Yeah. And then they just blew up off of what, YouTube essentially, or I don't even know, dude. That's crazy. But yeah, guys, we got our first metal vocalist. We're talking about all these fucking sick metal bands already. Of course, we're gonna be talking about more. But we got Mr. IamSinister here, who is, oddly enough, though, I didn't meet you initially on Kick via vocals. I believe it was Mortal Kombat. I think the new Mortal Kombat had just come out. And you were doing the sports casts as well, which I have to ask, are you gonna try and bring those back?
I want to. I'm trying to figure that out. So right now it's kind of like a schedule conflict because on Thursday nights I do the other podcast.
Oh, that's right.
That's like our set time, and then literally it's when the game's going on. And that game was always the easiest to do.
Yeah,
like the most accessible to be able to like sidecast.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to bring them back. I'm working on trying to figure something out.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, guys, Sinister does a great sports cast. Like, you guys are looking for just like just talking sports, football. And then up to date, like play-by-play stats going. It was really cool to see that because I don't, you see those, and I feel like other outlets, like some of the sports websites have like some of their own podcasts and things like that. But as far as like the streaming side, I mean, I'm sure there were some on Twitch that I just probably didn't go and find, but it was cool discovering that on Kick because it wasn't something I was used to checking out. That's
where I actually started, was on Twitch, checking it out, and I ended up getting in like a group, like a Twitch sports group or something they had going on with like some of the staff, and started doing it that way too.
That's pretty cool.
That's how I got some of my resources to do it.
Nice. So did you, like, when you were doing a lot of that, were you doing like sports games, like as far as streaming?
I mean, I have over the years. I've done like, I do them different though. I don't really go online and like play competitive or anything like that, just because I don't know. First off, I'm not that good, and second off,
I feel that
everybody else is doing that. So I try to like do my own spin. So what I would do is I would just like subs and like longtime community members, like they would get created characters, and we would pretty much like, I would tell a story of like their players going through like dynasties and stuff.
That's cool.
And so like we'd even do like drafts where like certain ones, mods or whoever, could like draft players to be on their teams and like all kinds of stuff. We had like a whole like NFL draft thing on Madden, and we've done NBA, we've done MLB, and then we've done WWE and UFC some too, just for like shits and giggles.
That's pretty cool.
Those get kind of rowdy though.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, the shit talk between people.
Oh yeah.
As far as like fighting games.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I'm just sitting here like watching, just like, I mean, it's the AI fighting, so I don't know what you want me to say about anything. Just like, good luck, guys.
So you had mentioned that you were on Twitch before. Is that where you originally started your first ever live stream? Yep. Or were you on a different platform for that? How long ago did you start there?
Oh my God, dude. I'm ancient, so probably 2015 or 14.
Dang.
Yeah, it
Holy
was
shit.
definitely a hobby then. It was like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Did not have any of the equipment. My first one was like straight off of an Xbox.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Like, yeah.
Did you ever mess around with what was Mixer? That was Xbox's thing, right?
Yeah. So I was on Twitch off and on for several years, and then I went to Mixer. I actually was thinking about making a move because I got kind of stagnant on Twitch. And I had some friends on Mixer, and everybody was kind of talking about it. So I checked it out, fell in love with the community, and went over there and ended up full sending over there. And I was partnered within a couple months, and I was on Mixer till the end, till the lovely heartbreak.
Shit. When did that happen? 2018?
It was COVID. It was 2020.
Oh, it was at COVID. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it forever has put like a stain on The Last of Us Part 2 for me. I was playing it on stream. I was so excited for it, and we were playing it. Everything was going great. Stream had like really starting to take off more. Like we had kind of plateaued, and then we hit like another level, and I was like super stoked for that. Mixer was building, and then back in those days, you used to get like blueberries. So it was like the non-profile picture. The little symbol would come in chat, and they would try to troll and say stupid shit. And so it was like all the partners everybody knew, like blueberries, whatever. So people were coming in there like, hey, check out the tweet. You're a partner, whatever. Or Mixer shutting down. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Cool. Have fun, buddy. Like timed out and kept going. And this happened like throughout the day. And then finally one of my mods was like, you might actually need to check it out. Went over, and that's how all of us found out was they tweeted out that they were shutting down. Like
That's
no partner
crazy.
meeting, nothing. I think
Dang.
Ninja knew maybe a day or two ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think Ninja, Goth, and Shroud knew. It might not have been anybody else. It was like the bigger names they had brought over. They told them like 2 or 3 days so they could make whatever contractual things they needed to do.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was.
How fast did
awful.
it shut down after they announced that?
Oh, dude, that was June. Like June 20th, 22nd, something like that. And then it was scheduled to shut down on my birthday, July 22nd. And so I was like, oh, wonderful. And so I was like, well, I'll ride out the last month. We'll plan when we're going. We'll like figure everything out. We'll migrate as many people as we can, to the next platform. Dude, everyone pretty much left. The platform was a ghost town like a week later. Everyone would just put like almost like AFK screens up, but it'd be like now streaming on Twitch. And it's just like 24-hour things like where they're going to be. No one was actually going live and trying.
That makes sense. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. But yeah, geez, damn, that sucks.
It was.
Yeah, I know
it was really shitty.
A couple other streamers that dealt with that as well. Desiree being one as well.
There's a bunch on Kick that were on Mixer.
Yeah,
Ocean, he's another one. Miss
Yeah,
Go.
I think Miss Go. Yeah,
I don't know. Was Ocean partnered? He might have been.
I have no idea.
I know Miss Go was for a fact.
Okay.
He was partnered.
Dang, 2020. When did
there was a
Mixers
bunch-
launch up?
It started as Beam.
That's
I missed the
right.
Beam launch. I don't know what year that was. I joined not long after they transitioned over to Mixer.
Did they even hit 2-year mark?
Oh yeah. Because I was partnered 2 years with them, I think.
Oh, okay.
But they
Dang, I feel like a fucking baby then, dude, because I didn't get started till COVID on Twitch. I had tried to get started sooner. It actually took me a whole year to figure out my rig set up the way I wanted it, which was a frustration. So I would have technically tried to start like right before COVID, like 2019, maybe like 2018 at the end. But yeah, I didn't really get started until COVID actually hit. I think I started a little bit before lockdown, April 2020.
Nice.
I guess lockdown was like right around that time. So
Dude, that was a booming time with everybody being home. Like
it
streaming
was.
very busy.
Twitch was massive for a good year, at least year and a half. Yeah, everyone and their mom was streaming. It was
The
pretty
numbers
crazy.
you could definitely tell too. There was like a huge inflation of numbers.
Mhm.
Like everybody's numbers were like doubled, tripled, pretty much during that time.
And the music scene was super bitchin' too, because there was a lot of actual, band musicians that were coming onto it because they couldn't do anything like show wise. So it was cool seeing a lot of my favorite metal guitarists or other drummer, just any metal musician doing
Who
a
all
live
did you
stream.
watch? Or who all do you watch?
God, I kind of bounce around like a lot. I mean, I used to watch a lot of Matt Heafy, Daniel DK. God, who else? Oh, I'm blanking on his name right now. The drummer from Tesseract's over there.
Yeah.
Joe? No, what's his name? I don't remember his name.
I
And then oh fuck, what's his face from Silosis was streamed too. It's not a Tim. I don't remember his name either. I'm really bad with names. Yeah, the guitarist and vocalist. Yeah, the guitarist and vocalist.
Oh, okay.
Middle. His last name is Middleton, right?
Is it John?
John? Josh Middleton. Yeah. Yeah, his streams were cool. Trying to think who else. Porter McKnight from Atreyu, Brandon Saller from Atreyu. I used to watch those guys a lot. That's kind of how I got into kind of getting some friendships with them, and I used to play a lot of WoW with Porter, who's the bassist of Atreyu. I feel like there were some other minor ones. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah. Tim from Fit for an Autopsy would stream guitar over there. Who would you watch? Did you watch any musicians?
Oh yeah, Matt, like you mentioned, I watched him. Andy Sazik, really liked him.
Oh yeah.
From Monuments and Termina and stuff.
Of course, Nick Nocturnal range is so insane.
Andy's voice makes no sense to me. Like the dude can do
Andrew
everything.
Garfield.
Yeah, that's what he looks
like. Yeah, I know.
Just like him. He's a good dude too. I really like Andy. Joshua Travis, love him.
Oh yeah, JT was fucking awesome.
He's such a good person. Like he's like a savant. That dude can do anything musically. Have you watched him play drums?
Yeah, I have actually. I didn't even know that was like a thing.
Oh, it's definitely a thing. So fun story on him.
He plays on 9-10 string. Like his guitars are fucking ridiculous.
Those nasty Kiesels he has, dude.
I love
dude. Kiesels. They're so nice.
Yeah, I'd love to try one. I just don't want to blow the money on something I can't pick up and try first.
They're hot. They're expensive.
I know. Yeah. I know. I gotta get a lefty too. Oh yeah, Herman Lee. That's right. Herman Lee. Yeah. I'd watch Herman.
There's some more.
There's definitely some more. What Death Clock drummer? Dude, I'm so. I just want his.
Samus is over there too.
Oh yeah,
he
Samus.
Still streams. Yeah. I think that's what he mainly does now. I don't know if he's like a touring musician anymore. I think he just does that now.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's some others. I'm blanking on people now.
Yeah, this is what happens when I smoke too much weed to remember everybody.
I watch in the mornings. There's a guy that plays acoustic guitar because I'm a sucker for that stuff, like the classical kind of acoustic.
Yeah, like flamenco.
Hold on, I'll have to go to my Twitch list. He's on most of the mornings. I feel like he's around Boston area.
Oh yeah, Scott Carstairs is great too from
Felicia. Oh yeah, Scott's insane. Yep. His vocalist streams too on Twitch. He plays a lot of Smash though. Kyle. What is this dude's name? You may know him. Tom in Boston.
Yeah. I had him followed. I do remember him.
Yeah. I love that stuff, like the real soft, like acoustic jams.
Yeah.
Especially in the morning. I love that.
Yeah. I usually don't go straight into metal when I start my day. I need to like ease into shit.
not usually. Sometimes, depending on how the morning starts. Sometimes you need.
Yeah, that's true. Did you ever do any vocal stuff over there? Did you not do any of that till you came over to Kick?
I wanted to. I've wanted to for a long time, but so I really wanted to after Mixer. Mixer kind of like I didn't have the setup for it and a way to do it, or even really the desire then. I didn't know how it would perform because there wasn't a ton of music stuff like that. Mostly it was like drumming and guitar and stuff like that. But I went to Facebook after that on contract.
Shit.
Yeah, that was.
How was that?
That was fun.
Really?
Great time.
How long were you there?
2 years. Pretty much like, yeah, around 2 years. It It honestly wasn't the worst. And I'm definitely very appreciative they gave me the opportunity after Mixer, because pretty much they swooped in when Mixer shut down. They were like, hey, wherever you guys want to go, if you want to go and you're a partner, reach out to us. We'll get you a contract. We'll set you up as a partner, help you get going, give you a new home, all that stuff. And I was like, sweet. I initially wasn't going to do it because I knew Twitch was familiar. But I was like, you know what? Hell with it. Let's see what we can do. Nothing else. I'm building another platform. I have to kind of start fresh anyways. A lot of community didn't want to go because you have like your real name and stuff out there, and that's a little weird. And it's very weird talking to chat whenever like you see like, oh, that guy's name is Mark whatever,
right?
But I know him as whatever his handle is, so I would just call him by their handle most of the time.
Yeah, and that is really weird.
There's also a lot of loops and like steps to go live. It's not as easy as just like go live. You had to like do a whole bunch of shit like through pages and stuff.
I tried one Facebook stream, multi-stream, not too long ago. Got shut down like after 15 minutes of playing some songs.
Yeah,
because their copyright's so intense. So they're just as bad as YouTube's for music.
They yeah, I didn't really see any music streams on Facebook. They had some kind of huge deal with like where you could play music.
Side thing though is Matt Heafy streams on there. Like I
don't know.
It's got to be because he's got his license to his stuff, but I feel like even then, like, they can't detect if it's his. I don't know. That's wild. Yeah,
their stuff is weird. It's very weird. The biggest thing with them is like, other than how difficult it was to go live, and then some people not feeling comfortable, which I completely understood. The support. At first we had access to people like if I had an issue or something went wrong or I got a copyright strike, because they were like, you can play music, that's fine, whatever. We paid however many millions or billion, whatever they paid for the licensing to the record labels so we could have music. People like Goth who went over there, King Goliath and stuff, he was getting like strikes and it was shut down his stream, and he's just like, dude, what's up with this, fix this. And then we could reach out to people then and talk to them. Wasn't always the most helpful, but at least we had access to somebody. Yeah. And then it got to where you really didn't have access to anybody. And like nothing got fixed. People brought stuff all the time and like, hey, this would be cool if we had this. They'd be like, okay, nothing would change. I don't know how long it was until gifted subs even rolled out over there.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's like we went from being able to get gifted subs, sub bombs, all this stuff, to like nothing. Like you could get a sub, and I was like, "Wow,
awesome." That's wild.
Yeah, they did have performance bonuses and stuff, which were cool. So like based on how many like likes you got on your stream and how many like chatters and chat messages, you would get like a certain amount per that. So that helped. But they didn't always
almost like a KCIP kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So well, sort of, but it wasn't like per hour. Because I mean, you could have streams like, say I'm playing Elden Ring, and stream is really busy, maybe it hits the algo, and like it could be a pretty good stream, like my performance bonus jumped up a lot, or I could make like nothing that day.
Got it.
It just, and it wasn't always like really set. It was kind of weird.
Ooh. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's you breaking stuff.
No, it's the obs bot. Blame this stupid motherfucking camera that's over here. That's not even supposed to be on. It just asked me if I wanted to switch audio on Discord, and I was like, get the hell out of here, obs bot.
We were talking about JT. I have a fun little story about JT.
Oh, yeah?
From years back. So I played a show with JT back when he was in Danza.
Okay.
And we played, it was pretty much a hometown show for them. We played in Murfreesboro, since you live in Nashville.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we played in Murfreesboro. I cannot remember the name of the venue. It was some like crazy bar place. And it was around like Valentine's Day. And I remember we were stoked. We were like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. Jesse's really cool, the vocalist. JT's awesome. And we get there and the drummer is sick or something's wrong with the drummer. So we're like, oh no.
Oh shit.
So JT's like, don't worry, I'm playing drums tonight. Dude gets back there, puts down the guitar, gets back there and plays drums the whole set and just crushes. And I was like, man, this
wild.
Yeah, he's insane.
That's crazy.
Like, didn't miss a beat. And I don't know if you remember Danza stuff, but it's
dude, Danza stuff's crazy.
Insane.
His writing style is so I don't know. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's wild. So you were Twitch until Kick?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was just basically over on Twitch for almost 4 years before making the move over here. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I made the move. I don't miss Twitch, man. Twitch was cool. Like during, like you said, like, that COVID time, it was booming, dude, especially with the music scene. But guess what? All those musicians are touring now, and they got better things to do than stream. And it's just a bunch of rocksmith guitarists that think they're the new actual musicians. Anyways, I said what I said. But yeah,
shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired. Fuck them.
When I left Facebook, that's why, dude, I had to take Facebook just mentally drained me. Like I was kind of done. You know how it is. You just It's like beating your head against a wall for so long. I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't having fun going live.
That's how it kind of fell towards the tail end of Twitch. And I think that's what was cool about making the move over to Kick. Like, yeah, we were growing over on Twitch, but it's like, dude, the growing is so slow. Like after that COVID boom dropped and it went back to normal, it was just the climb to try and get towards a higher CCV for partner was just slow, and it would get stagnant sometimes. And it's just I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people just started. It became cliques. Like if you didn't play Rocksmith, you weren't you didn't really get seen as being a part of that music circle because there was just so many other Rocksmiths. So I try to make friends with actual musicians and other non-Rocksmith, but there's not a lot over there. So it's everyone streams at different times, and it's weird because it's you got you want to build your own community, but at the same time it's kind of like a circle in the sense of streamers gotta kind of throw support here and there because there's always gonna be viewers that see something new that they're like, oh, this is cool. And I just felt like Kick made more sense because things were not I just felt like I wasn't in that circle anymore musically. And it was just kind of a interesting test to bring the community over to see if I could do that. Was
it a hard sell for you to move over from Twitch to Kick?
I'd say kind of, because you know how they are ideology, their ideology over there and the mindset over there is just completely different than that of Kick. There's a lot of I'll straight up say it. There's a lot of liberalism over there. It's just, it is what it is. I'm not trying to fucking sugarcoat it. There's just a lot of oh, if you go over to Kick, you're a fucking racist Nazi. The initial things. And I was seeing that firsthand because I know so many streamers that lean that direction left, and they're so, what you read on the internet is absolutely true 100% of the time. Don't let anything else tell you otherwise. And so yeah, I'd say I probably really only got maybe initially, I'd say it kind of started as half of my community, and then it probably even went down to just a third really kind of came over. But obviously you grow new community members and things like that, and I'll be honest, man, coming over here, obviously everyone was super hyped on Kick when we first got here, but it still was just a better interaction. I felt like I had way better interactions with other streamers in different categories. I didn't feel like I had to keep to just music people. I was just meeting people across so many different categories. Like I said, I didn't even meet you via vocals or guitar or anything like that. I think I'm trying to remember how I even ran into your stream. I feel like Miss Go introduced me to you, or maybe I met you in Evans. Did you used to go into Evans stream in the morning?
Yeah,
maybe in
I
there.
think Evan was also on Mix. Yeah, Evan was on Mixer too.
Yeah, I wish Evan was still over here too, man. He would be a real driving factor for the music community, music category here, because he's got a good time
I get
slot.
why people bounce and
yeah, I get it too.
That's for you and your community. So I definitely get it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's always a tough choice what to do.
Yeah. So when you were done with Facebook, was Facebook direct flip to Kick, or did you have a Twitch in between and then?
Yeah. So I knew the contract, the way it was, I think they still actually consider me a partner. which is crazy because I have not
Oh,
streamed over there in
That's wild. Wait, are you talking about Twitch or are you talking about Facebook?
Yeah, I'm still, I think, a partner, even though like they sent me another contract after not streaming there for like a year, and I was just like, really? And then I just didn't like sign or do anything, and now I'm still considered. I don't know how the hell that works, but whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I pretty much took like December off. Well, part of December off. I streamed some. We did like our normal like Christmas stuff, and then I was like, look, I'm gonna take the holidays to chill. And then I took a little bit of January, and I was like, all right, something's got to change. I've been burnt out.
Yeah.
We're going to Twitch. I'm tired of beating my head against the wall, doing the same shit.
Yeah.
It's not working. And I was like, I want to get more into music content, something I'm passionate about. So we started just doing like, not really, it was kind of like reactions, but not really like, we would just pretty much check out music together and talk about it. And I would let them submit music, which is a terrible idea. Don't do that. You get the worst stuff ever to try to make you mad. But we would do that and do different things. And we were doing that for like,
tries to get me to cry when I do that shit.
Oh.
Done the music reaction shit. They're trying to get
sad
me
stuff.
Yeah, bro. First time I did a music reaction stream,
stuff.
I fucking cried twice. I was like, who the
What are
fuck
they giving you?
Bro, one of them was like a really drawn out, slow, depressed version of Make Yourself, or no, Lose Yourself by Eminem. But it was like some country singer like chick did it. It was so good. Yeah.
At least they give you good stuff. They give me like country singers that are like ones that shoot it on their iPhone and upload it, and it's like this awful song. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? That's what they send me. They send me stuff like that constantly, or meme stuff, and I'm just like, come on, guys. But I did that for like a month or two. Then we were just kind of getting our footing, getting kind of like set, getting back used to Twitch because it'd been a while. I'd done like Twitch streams here and there, sprinkled in for like different types of content. Sports streams I did over there while on Facebook. But then Kick had been, I guess Kick come out in like what, November or December, I guess the year before. And I'd heard of it, and it was funny, like when it come out, everybody was kind of joking, like, should we go grab our names? And I was like, I'll wait. I'm good right now. Like, I'd already been through Mixer, Facebook. There was another streaming service that people were hopping on for like literally a month and stopped. It was like Glamesh or something. I don't know if you remember it. No. There's like a couple that popped up, obviously like D Live, all this stuff where like people had scattered over the years everywhere. And I was just like, it could be another one of those pop-up ones.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and waste time. And so a couple months went by, and I think it was like March, and I saw more Mixer people going over there, and I was like, damn, it's actually still going. So I like went over and I checked out a couple streams, got my name, and I was like, okay, I actually kind of like the vibe over here. Like, there's a lot of really cool people, and there's people I know, and it has like the community vibe that I fell in love with on Mixer. Kind of like you said, where like, it's not necessarily like clicks and circles, but like you would go to more streamers in different categories, not necessarily the category you stream in, but you're like friends with more people across that you can just go hang out with and chill, and like people interact and you see them in the same streams. And so I was like, you know what, let's try a stream. That was my selling point. I was like, all right, instead of going live on Twitch today, we're gonna go live on Kick. Let's see what's up with it. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Let's see what we think. If it sucks, we go back to what we're doing. No harm, no foul. And then we just never went back to Twitch. We literally did the first stream and we were like, damn, this is pretty cool, and stayed.
That's sick. Nice. When was that?
I've been over here over a year, so last like March or April.
Okay. Just a little bit before. I came in June. Oh no, July 9th is what it was. It was like July 9th. Yeah, I wish I would have started sooner. I think I made my hand. I kind of did what you said, like just grabbed the handle, but didn't really do anything. And yeah, I wish I would have started sooner. I remember being like, oh, what, like not really understand, like, oh, there's another platform, and then finding out you can get more money from it and stuff. But I didn't really know anybody over here that was really doing it. I will say, like, as far as the Twitch people that I knew, I was kind of one of the first ones to test the waters over here, because like I said, a lot of them just like refused to like stream over here because the reputation it had gotten and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
obviously,
heard that starting off too. People would be like, "Oh, well, that stuff they were watching like porn and stuff over there." I'm like, you realize there's stuff like that on Twitch too. Like if you
Right.
look for it, it's there. It's not like it's
exactly.
Twitch isn't like completely like wholesome or anything. Like every streaming platform has some shit going on.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. It was so it's just like I know. It's like, and it's funny too because they all bitch about platform morals and stuff, and they're bitching about this on X and Twitter, yet they all hate Elon Musk, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put away the phone for maybe like a month? But yeah, I digress. But yeah, I think the one thing that definitely made it difficult too was like that incident in September, the Ice Poseidon thing.
Yeah.
That thing fucking blew up like awkwardly big.
Yeah.
And man, I just remember every Twitch streamer was like out to gut anybody that streamed on Kick, dude.
Dude, it's still kind of like that though. The bashing is crazy.
It is. It's so childish, dude. I don't get it.
It's not like I'll fire up every stream and I'll just like bash on Twitch. I mean,
right?
I don't know. There's a lot more good on this platform than there is bad.
Absolutely.
You just sadly the bad is what gets all the headlines from the sites and stuff.
Well, it doesn't help when these headlines, like, they always twist it in a bad way to hurt Kick. But if it's something for Twitch, they'll like put like they're just a streamer. They won't say where they stream, or they'll make it not sound as bad. Yep. It's so dumb.
You can
Anything for clickbait.
I want Kick to succeed.
Yeah.
But really, like, truthfully, Kick, I'm glad Kick is doing well and still going because the industry needs competition.
Absolutely. And I think some of the changes that have been coming to Twitch wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Kick.
Mixer, I know Mixer caught a lot of shit too, and Mixer had its faults. By no means am I like praising Mixer. It had its issues and obviously shut down, so there was a lot of issues. Microsoft pulling the plug and stuff, but the competition, the fact that they were able to get like Ninja and stuff like that and those insane contracts, it changed the industry a lot, which could have been for the better or worse. I mean, it helped a lot of people get paid.
Yeah.
But it needs to be there. Like, YouTube is doing its thing, and YouTube's
crushing it. I mean, YouTube is. I mean, if you can do, that's the platform to be on. I feel like if you have something that doesn't get copyright like striked or marked against over on YouTube, I think that would be the place to go because, dude, even like as much as Twitch is like slowly they've made some changes, I feel like for every one step forward they make, they take 3 steps back. Not even just 2. It's like they take too many steps back and they're still not making profit. I'm waiting for the day when Amazon drops them, and they're so ad based that they love it too. They really are, dude. When I try to go to some streams over there, I can't, because it's not even like just 2 minutes anymore. It's like 4+ minutes of ads. And it's
I
just
took out of so many streams from that. I'm just like, I'm not waiting.
I got patience.
Especially if it's a new stream that I've never been into. I'm like, who's this guy? What are they doing? And I click it, and I'm just like, okay, nope, never mind.
It's the worst first viewer experience you could ask for anything. Absolutely. I don't know.
What was a good selling point for you on Kick when you first come over? For me, the community, like I said, like just people coming around in chats and talking and being like, okay, cool. It wasn't just like a, hey, follow me or whatever. I mean, there was that, obviously, and there still is, like the whole, well, you know how it is. Like, there for a while, like the tab for tab was rampant and the follow for follow or whatever the hell they had when Kick was first going. There was a lot of that, but I mean, there was a lot of like wholesome interactions. I know within my first month, I think staff showed up. I don't remember who it was, but I was like caught off guard because I really hadn't seen staff. Like, I don't think I ever really had staff at least chat in Facebook. Mixer
never had staff in Twitch chat.
Yeah, ever. And I had the one person like in sports come in for something. I think it was for their September thing. He showed up for stuff to like gift and then left. But other than that, like never to like actually chat. But I wish I could remember the name. They come in and they chatted for a while. I was just like, damn, this is actually kick staff like in here
Yeah.
hanging out, just like having. I was playing Resident Evil and they were just chatting it up about everything. And
That's
I was like,
awesome.
this is pretty awesome.
That's real cool. Yeah, I know the main thing that brought me over definitely was the 95.5.
That's a big, for those that don't stream, that's a big difference in Twitch. It's a huge difference.
And especially with the way that I think a part of it too was the way that I knew how my community kind of worked. And I feel like, and I hope this doesn't come out if you're a viewer, this isn't a way as like manipulation or anything, but like we are running a business, so we do have to manage these numbers, like whether it's subs, bits, donations, like there's patterns to all these type of things. And I was more successful on the sub side of things over on Twitch versus the bits side. Like I do okay on bits, but not as much as like subs would do. And it's just like thinking of like that number of subs being just cut in half, and just knowing that I had more ideas to do that I just didn't necessarily want to do, because like, why am I putting all this work for Twitch to take half of my money kind of thing?
Yeah.
So I know we kind of I think maybe one of the other music streamers had tested out over here and had like a good experience, and I was like, fuck it, let's give it a try. I initially was like setting up a whole date to like debut like on it, and then I realized, oh wait, I won't be affiliate yet for this debut stream. So I kind of did some pre-warm-up streams where like we streamed half on Twitch and then took the other, like halfway through the night, took it over to Kick.
I remember you splitting time. I think when I first knew you were doing like certain days here and there.
Yeah, the schedule got really dumb actually. I actually regret the way anyways, I'll finish this story up. But yeah, like I did some warm-up streams to try and get affiliate. That way that first debut stream I could get subs. And first stream in, we had Kick staff come in. They saw like the energy and like they were enjoying the music, and then they were just like, oh, let's just activate your affiliate thing. I think I was only short like maybe 20 follows or something, like, because wasn't it like just 75 follows or 70 follows or something?
Is it still that? I think it is.
I think it's that. I might have actually had the follows. Maybe it was just like you had the stream. Oh yeah, you had to stream so many hours. I think it was that. Which they like just bypassed. I didn't get a verification. I know that there were some other musicians that got like on the spot verifications. I did get verification way later, but yeah, I just kind of started doing like we start the night on Twitch. I'd do like 2 hours, because I'd usually kind of stream for 3 or 4 hours. And then we'd like be like, instead of hosting out or raiding out, we'd be like, all right, we're just gonna go over on Kick, come over here, we're keeping the party going. That actually worked pretty well. I eventually went to like 2 nights on Twitch, 2 nights on Kick, and they were separate. That was a mistake. That was dumb, because when I realistically thought about how much I'm on a particular platform, it's just 2 days a week, but I'm still like streaming 4 days a week. So it's like I'm kind of absent from the platform, but I'm not, because I'm at the like, it just didn't work out good. And I'm glad I didn't keep that schedule for too long. I think I did it for maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. But yeah, that was dumb.
It also confuses your community, or it
does.
Can.
It
like,
does.
Where the hell
Absolutely.
is he at tonight?
Yeah, it does. And I'm huge on consistency and scheduling. Like I definitely do not try to be late. I hate canceling. I hate shifting times. I try to always hit my 4 days and keep it at that. And
yeah.
And we haven't done a schedule change. I think the only thing I just changed is I start a little bit later, because some of the softball and baseball games that have been going on just ran a little later, so I moved a time. But I think I'm just gonna keep them at that time now. But yeah, I think consistency, that's when other streamers ask me for advice, I'm always telling them schedule consistency is your #1 friend. Like, it literally is, because it becomes routine for your viewers to come and, you know, catch you at that time, like almost like their, you know, their Saturday morning cartoons, or you know, their after school show that they would watch, you know, that kind of thing.
That's what I always compared it to, is like your favorite TV show. Like, you know, this show's coming on at 8 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you look forward to it. So you need to be on and set like that, so people know like, hey, such and such will be on at this time on these days.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. What are some things that you feel like you've learned over the years through like your scheduling of how you stream?
Splitting time between platforms sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I've tried that over the years. I did it at one point Mixer and Twitch, and it just got really confusing because I would get like Discord messages and be like, "Are you not live tonight? Are you not live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am actually. I'm on this one." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know." And people, it never worked out the way I wanted it to. It would have like an initial boom at the start. I'm like, "Oh, you're on this platform, cool," and then everybody would just get lost.
Yep.
Yeah. And you lose momentum kind of on both sites, really.
That's exactly what it felt like. I felt like I wasn't doing successful at either one when I was splitting them like that. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing?
And especially if you have the ability to get subs on them, then people don't know where to give subs or sub. They're confused by it. And they're like, that makes it difficult. That consistency, having days is very big, especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
Some people have random schedules and it works. They're just very vocal when. But for the most part, consistent schedules, days, times, so people know and they know when to expect you. And then other streamers also know, be like, oh, like Destro's on these days. Like I know, I finished a stream, Destro should be on. I can go raid Destro tonight. Like stuff like that. It really does help.
Yeah, I definitely agree too. Yeah, especially with like kind of posted into each other and things like that. That's the one thing I hate about my schedule is I'm always like one of the last kind of on it, other than like the crazy late night owls, But I feel like there's a couple streamers who are so chaotic on their schedules, and I never really know when they go. Like I kind of have an idea, but like, What schedule or what time frame do you find usually works best for you?
I used to be one of those night owls when I first was really going and become full time. I was streaming, man, it was ridiculous. I would start 8 or 9 p.m., sometimes 10, just depending on what was going on with like the wife and everything. And then sometimes streams went into like 6 or 7 a.m. Like she would get up and go to work, and she'd be like getting ready for work, and she's like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm like, "Mixers had me on the front page like all night. I don't know what's going on." I'm just. It would be awful.
That's
and then
wild.
I would do that. I think I took Mondays off then, and I would go Tuesday through Friday, take off Saturday, and then do Sunday night. I think is what I did. And Saturday, it got to the point where like I was so tired from streaming all those nights. Like I would try to live like a normal life on Saturday, like normal hours. And I was a zombie, and my wife's like, "This sucks." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. We got to fix this." I've done the early mornings where I'm like live by 5 or 6 a.m. And that's cool to an extent. But my brain doesn't always function the best. So like, all the multitasking. I like that it was kind of done for the day. And that wasn't the worst. I like afternoon and evening. It kind of just works.
Yeah.
Especially like watching my son and stuff. Like I can watch him in the mornings, and then as my wife's getting done her shift, she can kind of take over and I can do what I need to do. Yeah. So that usually works the best for me.
Yeah, I tried doing like some mornings or midday afternoon stuff. I liked them. I liked the time frame. It was hard trying to like get my community on board with it. Yeah. Although the idea was to try and see what kind of new audience we'd bring in. Yeah, I really liked the time. It was kind of cool, but I do realize like it's just with school, with the kids getting out of school and stuff like that, it's just like it's not really ideal. Plus, I'm not always as warmed up for guitar that early in the morning kind of thing too. But
you're kind of talking about times too. Like if you're starting off and there's a certain category you're going to be in, like obviously we all bounce around, like you'll play different games too or different things. But you're primarily going to be in music. If that's going to be your category and you're trying to figure out a schedule, go in and kind of see like, is there a time slot that's kind of empty?
Yeah.
Somewhere where maybe I could like fill the void or move up the list a little faster, because the higher up the directory you are, the more chance you have for like newer people to come in. And then kind of like, get to know people in the category and then kind of maybe fill that void. So like you said, like hosting out, we're like Destro's going to be on at 8. Like if I finish my stream 8, I can host Destro and then like it pass along, or Chavez is on at whatever time, like,
Yeah.
it kind of works out that way. Everybody can kind of help each other too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I will, as much as it sucks to say this, it still is a platform that's a lot of streamer and streamer on streamer support. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like that. I mean, I think that makes our community more tight because we're kind of all going through the ebbs and flows at the same time together. But at the same time, yeah, we obviously are hoping more things come to the platform that incentivize viewers to feel more engaged. Because obviously we can only do so much without API and stuff like that.
Hopefully one day soon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So speaking of that, like what kind of challenges do you feel like you faced when you like kind of switched over to Kick? And now obviously you've been on different platforms, so you weren't totally set on how things were on Twitch. So I'm not really sure how things were on Mixer, but as far as trying to get your stream to be like its normal interaction and like all these effects and things like that, did you have any issues like trying to make that move over to Kick and kind of stripping your stream back?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, so my community's really used to, on Mixer it was called Embers, and it was really cool. It was like essentially bits.
Okay.
But they also had what was kind of like channel points. I mean, all intents and purposes it was channel points, but for a long time they called them sparks. And what they did for probably a better part of a year, or maybe a little over a year, is say a viewer like Lori, for example, in your chat would be there, hang out, and she would accrue like channel points essentially, or sparks, and you would throw like these like little gift things out over and over, and like little different spark things that you would earn. Like you get 10,000, you could throw this one out, and it would all happen in chat and give you like interaction and engagement. But there was also like a little meter that everybody could see, and as you hit certain thousands to millions of sparks for the month, that was hundreds of dollars.
Oh shit.
So like so if someone couldn't like financially come in and gift a bunch of subs or drop embers or whatever, like bits and stuff, they could still watch the channel a lot, which this did cause a problem with like spark farming. That was a big thing.
Yeah,
but
I could see that.
They would come throw sparks and just people would just drop. Like a lot of times you have like Mixer had an interactive button thing where you could have your own sound clips or things that would happen on stream. So you could set up like all kinds of shit to happen.
Okay.
Which was cool, and people would love it. And like, I just had like a soundboard that they could play, and then my regulars would be like, "All right, we need like a top spark thing," and like you would just part of my stream would just be noises going off, and I'm just like, "All right, cool." Eventually they'll be done. But it was a cool thing. That was one thing. When I come over, they were just like, Facebook had stars, which is bits, and they really didn't have much of anything, truthfully. And then all the Twitch features, everybody was like, "Well, this is pretty bare bones. Like you can sub." And then you can gift a sub, and I think mobile sub when I come over here wasn't even a thing at the time.
No, yeah, it took a while. I remember they
really
rolled that out. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That was the thing. There's like it's cool, but it's real bare and like basic. I'm like, yeah, it's a brand new platform. Give them time. I'm like, gifting. I forget when they started gifting. It wasn't long after I got here, and I was like, all right, this is already faster than Facebook, so this is progress.
Yeah. I think if they would have not had the gifting, I think this platform would have drowned.
That's a big thing. It's a very unstable thing, but it's very big for streamers.
Yeah, especially at a 95/5 split.
Oh yeah. And that first month, whenever I saw like my payment, I was like, damn, this is crazy. It's a huge difference.
It was the fact. I just remember like having some streams, and I'm like, I did half the work as I did. Meaning I earned like half of what I would on Twitch, but I made way. I'm just like, when I saw that, I just felt like I was getting played all these years on Twitch. I was like, bro, fuck this place. Like, I don't. Yeah. Like, and yeah, I know. Like initially, I was like, well, there's not this channel points. There's not this bits. There's not all these other ways to interact, but I was able to find ways to make it work without the API. And luckily, like if there's any streamers out there, guys, you can work around it with Lumia. There's a couple other bots as well that still work around it. They're maybe not the most efficient 100% of the time, but 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they work pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't know what an API would really do for me at this point. I think it maybe just kind of tighten up some alerts that aren't always
You and
going off
Graham have kind of
correctly.
like, you've definitely weathered that storm really well. Like you guys
Dude,
have like
grit,
managed
yeah.
to still put up like a top quality stream with effects and everything going on and like all the stuff you can do without API. So there's
Yeah.
definitely a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it just sucks when we're at the hands of these things. I remember I was using was it Leorian board, which I think turned into a different name. But that is what I was originally using for Kick. And it had a thing that was working, and then all of a sudden that broke. And I was like, fuck, what do I do now? And like I luckily I found out that there's a lot of things I could do in Lumia that worked. So but yeah, I know there's a lot of streamers that still kind of use that. Well, there's no API. I ain't going over there.
I've heard that a bunch.
And I'm just like, I can't buy that excuse anymore, to be honest. Like, if you want it to work, I think you'll find it to work. But if you want to keep paying Twitch half your money, then do that too, I guess. So,
It's
oh
crazy,
shit, we're on
like-
front page. Oh snap!
Oh, welcome in front page.
Welcome on in, everybody. We are here, episode 9 with I Am Sinister on the Discussions with Destro podcast. Just talking about streaming and kind of talking about our moves from our previous platforms over to Kick. We still haven't even really gotten into the music side of the chat, but this is good though, because I knew that this conversation would go a lot with streaming, because I feel like we both come from different backgrounds of obviously you got way more platform experience under your belt than I.
Way
So
more
you've kind of,
heartbreak. Is what it is.
yeah, dude, I'm kind of glad. I guess I was babied over just on one platform for a minute.
It's imagine like everything you've built over here and like
Ugh.
you know all the growth and
don't-
everything, because it takes, it's not like it happens overnight, you
Right.
know? And then to build a solid community, and then just one day they're like, oh, by the way, you're evicted, like you're done,
Wild.
that's it, you've lost
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, all right, I'm trying to gather as many people as I can to come with me, and then you just hope for the best.
Yep.
Like it sucks.
So would you say that the other platforms, like that same situation happening with like Mixer and Facebook not being that great, has it like forced you to kind of branch out to other platforms and work on like
100%.
offline material?
Oh yeah. I had way too much tunnel vision. I knew I needed to branch out more, and I did to an extent on Mixer. And I would like post some stuff, but I didn't make it a priority like I should. I was just like, I'm gonna focus on stream. I'm gonna bust my ass. I'm gonna keep growing, keep doing what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was seeing the growth, I was seeing like all the things from it. And then it shut down. I was like, wow. Now I'm left with like all the other socials. Like this one does not matter. Like
Yeah.
this analytic, if I go to any kind of brand or like
Yeah.
try to work any kind of deal, nobody cares. It's a non-existent platform.
Yeah. Dang.
So I was
that's-
like,
that sucks.
so like the whole all your eggs in one basket thing, that was a very valuable life lesson. So creators out there, definitely diversify. 'Cause
Absolutely.
you never know.
Yep.
And that's for Twitch creators too. Twitch, like you said with
100%.
Amazon, there's no guarantee tomorrow
No.
they won't be like, hey,
Yeah. I can't believe they haven't done it yet, to be honest, man. Like it's kind of wild. But yeah, I will say this platform definitely has helped me branch out on all my other platforms. Like I didn't really care. Like I always wanted to do YouTube videos and things like that, but I never really started hitting it hard nosed like on the daily until coming to Kick. And I don't know, it kind of put me into a different perspective where it's like there's a lot more things that seem achievable on Kick than they ever did on Twitch. And I think when those things are kind of more in your grasp, or that you are able to achieve those, you might be more determined to try and get those goals. Because man, dude, like Twitch just left so many sour tastes in my mouth, and I know some other streamers and friends' mouths. I remember like one incident too, like we were doing a giant raid relay, like a music charity for I think it was for diabetes, the giant fundraiser. Got approved by the Twitch staff to have certain slots on the front page to hype up this charity and everything. I was one of the front page slots that they were going to pick, along with 2 other streamers. The day, this is months prior, the day of they back out and say that none of us are getting our front page time anymore, and they pulled it. And they didn't put anything of any other charity importance or anything up there. They just put like some.
Did they give you a reason, or
Nope.
they're just like, no,
Nope.
that's bullshit. That sucks.
That was one of the things that just, yeah, I couldn't believe it, because it wasn't like it was for nothing, you know. It was like it was a charity, you know, for a good cause, and yeah, it was bizarre. But yeah, just that kind of shit, you know. Front page time, trying to get that over there is like, does it really do much? I mean, yeah, I know people say no, but it's yes and no. I think it just depends, right? You know, like it brings more trolls some days it doesn't. Some days it actually brings some people that decide to come back, especially if you're in the music side of things. Like, people like listening to music. I've honestly been on that front page way more times than I can count, and I'm absolutely blessed every time I'm on there. I know there's some people that just don't even want it because they get bad experiences with it. How would you say that your experiences on Kick have been?
I take it as an honor every time. Like you said, there's trolls. They come in. It is what it is. Especially like with
trolls
me,
everywhere,
a lot of times,
though.
like if I'm screaming or something,
Yeah,
that's not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. And I love the people who come in. They'll tell me to sing like some off the wall song. I'm like, yeah, no, we're gonna do this instead. But I look at it as like every feature. If I can maybe get 1 or 2 people to come back, that's a win.
Yep.
You know, like you could have like a couple hundred in there, and that's all great and well, and it's good for like exposure and stuff like that. But if I can convert 1 or 2 off of a feature, then that's a win for me. Like,
yeah.
And when I mean come back, I mean like I'm gonna see them more than just like maybe the next day. Like, hey, I was here yesterday. Like, they come back every now and then, like hang out or maybe try to be a part of the community.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I'm trying to convert at least like a couple if I can.
Yep. I
mean,
100%
it's been
feel
positive
that.
for me for the most part. Like, I definitely bless like Miss Go and stuff. Like you've been in her streams when she gets featured. Dude, it gets wild.
Dude, all these girls,
we don't
man,
get anything like that. I get like awful trolls that can't even like trash talk well.
All these girls, man, there's a couple of them too. Like Razor Red in the morning, I'm always in her stream. And you know, O'Caddy, she does fitness. Like, dude, she's always getting like just idiot. Like all these guys, I feel so bad for all these girls, man. It's just all these dumbass teenage boys too, dude. Just like, so
do they actually think that works? Like,
I don't know. Bro.
Do they actually believe,
dude,
like,
when
hey,
I was that age, I
work.
had way better things to fucking do, bro. I was literally learning to play guitar or outside skateboarding, dude. Like, what?
That's what always baffles me. I'm like, is that the age we're at now? Like, people actually think this is gonna work? Like, hey, I'm gonna make her my girlfriend. Like, no, you're not. It's not gonna work.
If I call her Sugar Tits, I think she'll like me. No.
Or come in and just be like, you're a whore. And like, that's gonna go over great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. My front page is nothing like that. Usually, like, I'll get a couple, maybe like every now and then you'll get like a racist or something.
Yeah, I get more of those than anything.
Yeah,
else.
and you'll just ban them, and then they're gone, and then that's it. Like,
yeah.
But that's about it. Like, my mods are usually pretty on the spot on that, so I don't have to like deal with the stupidity.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's usually not bad.
Yeah, it's either that or it's the bot that's like, hey, I saw your channel and I just noticed you're not doing that good. I could help you get verified, and then you're like already verified, and they're
I love that one. It's like, hey, your channel is new. Do you want to get verified and get followers? I'm like, really?
Message me on Discord. Yeah. So dumb.
Yeah, I love it.
So, out of all your years of streaming, which is sounded like we're coming up on 10 years.
Holy shit. Okay, now I really do feel like
that's wild.
I could be wrong. I know the only reason I say 2015 is I remember like the first like success of like actually seeing people come in, because I mean, you know how it is when you start, you're getting like a couple people, like 5 people, you're like, damn, I've got a lot of people in here watching. Like when you're first starting off, you know, like especially then there wasn't the resources like there is now. Like capture cards were way more expensive and not
that's true too
as accessible.
That's
like
very
I think
true.
there was like one Elgato capture card back then.
Yep.
And then is it Black Mac? What was the other one? There was another one that was big that everyone used forever, and it's like ancient.
I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about. It's like black something, Black Magic.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
I think so.
That sounds like familiar.
That. But yeah, I was playing WWE 2015. So that's the only reason. So it may have been 2014 then. And I remember like I wasn't even playing. I was just doing like whatever people wanted to see. I would let that match simulate, and then I would just chat with people. Like that was my thing because I was really big from the start on interaction. I wanted because the streamers always liked are the ones you would go in and would actually talk to you, and like you could have conversations and all that. And so I made that a focal point. I was like, look, we're gonna do this. They can see whatever fantasy match they want to see. And then I'm just going to chat with them. Like, we're just going to hang out. And, like, we started seeing success from that. And I was like, okay. So it might have been the end of 2014 into 2015.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
dang.
I'm a long way from there. And I still have people from that time. There's probably 3 or 4 that met me then on Twitch that still come to stream like, daily.
That's cool. That's cool.
And, so and wild, like, the one's getting married now. And he's, like, when he found me, he was in college. And now he, like, works all these jobs and like getting married and yeah, it's wild.
So out of all of that time streaming, what is one of the most like one of the biggest moments you're most proud of?
Ooh, that's a good one. I used to really look forward to Hype Zone back in the day on Mixer. I played a lot of Fortnite, like most people back in that time frame, as well as Apex when it come out, and they would do this thing called Hype Zone, and it would be insane. Like you would get an influx of like thousands of people.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and so it would be like you would just be going your normal numbers, everything's cool, you're doing your thing, and they would find people that were at the end of the matches, like so the clutch moments, and they would literally just like jump in the channel. And you would have go from like however many viewers to like 6K.
Whoa.
And you're like already focused and all that would happen. That happened a bunch and there was
that
like
sounds
a lot
awful actually.
It would be the first time it happened, dude, it stressed us out so bad. Cause it was me, I was doing duos with one of my mods and we were just kind of doing our thing, like shooting the shit and like having fun. And it hit and we were just like, oh God, what is going on? Because there was just like chat was everywhere. That was a lot of fun. Getting partnered on Mixer was a big honor. Getting verified over here was a big honor. I was really excited about that. I guess just being able to do this, my biggest accomplishment is still being able to do this in 2024.
Yeah.
Like, I've been full-time now for 6 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
So how in the hell I've cockroached away and been able to survive.
Congrats on that.
That's probably my biggest accomplishment and change with the times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people fail to do is sometimes is change with the times, which the times are changing way too fast in the streaming industry and just technology in general. And
you'll fail at a lot of stuff. You'll try things, you'll be like, this is a great idea, and then it won't pan out and you'll be like, all right, back to the drawing board, let's try something else.
Yep. Damn, dude, that's fucking awesome. 5 years. That's a huge inspiration. I'm coming up on actually right now. October is a year of being full time at it as well for me. Yeah, dude, I don't think that would have been possible over on Twitch. No fucking way. Like absolutely no way. Absolutely blessed to have a community that allows me to do that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of. It's not easy, man. Like it sounds cool, and I know like talking about like before I went full-time it sounded so badass. I'm gonna be a full-time streamer, like sounds cool, but man, dude, every month is a brand new roller coaster that you're literally free falling in, hoping to God you hit your goal. Yeah. And
it's not as luxurious as you think.
No.
Like when I was part-time, I was like, working the 9 to 5, doing all that, and I was like, man, it'll be so great to not have to do the 9 to 5 and I can just focus on this and I just
be your own boss.
I'm gonna play video games all day and do what I want. Yeah. And it is not that at all. Yeah. It is a 24/7 job. My wife gets mad. We'll be somewhere and I'm like, I need to check emails, I need to do this. Like it's rough. I think you kind of got forced into full time, right? Well, not forced, but like it was kind of like you kind of have to go full-time thing. I
got let go in October and I was just like, Kick was kind of starting to go good and it just didn't make any sense for me to waste my time making less. Like I was streaming at night, working the 9 to 5 in the day, and I just wasn't getting paid that much, and I was hating it. I was literally hating my boss and all that stuff. You just kind of got to build up to it to where you can get into a comfortable spot, I think. My wife, I mean, dude, bless my wife, she has a great job. She works her fucking ass off. I wouldn't be able to be full-time if it wasn't for her having such an awesome job and doing what she does. So I'm definitely not taking that for granted, but it allows me more time to, it's weird because it's like I have more time, but at the same time, it's like when you're doing full-time content creation, like you said, you can't put your eggs all in one basket. If you are, and you're able to swing that, man, you're lucky. And you probably should look at putting those eggs in other baskets just in case. But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm always editing offline content because I'm doing YouTube videos every day, and it's all about, I think, finding a workflow. Every platform's different. Trying to navigate those platforms is difficult at times. Like, I feel like Instagram, I got no idea. Like, I just post, but it doesn't do that great. YouTube, doing pretty good. We just hit over 1,000 subscribers the beginning of the month, which, I mean, I know it's not a lot, but like coming from under 100 a year ago, I'll take that. Like, it's just progress. TikTok, I haven't started live streaming there, but videos are kind of going up. I have some ideas I want to do for like offline, like duets, where I take some people's music stuff and kind of solo improv over it. I think that might be kind of cool. I definitely need to get started on streaming on TikTok. I just haven't really gotten my live key set up. Have you done any streaming over on TikTok? Yeah.
I actually one of the, what was that company that, like, when Facebook stopped having partner managers as much, they had a few for like the Darknesses or the what is his name? Stone. What's his name?
Who?
Damn, what is his name? He was like huge on Stone Mountain. There we go.
Stone Mountain.
On Twitch, he was like one of the early Facebook people, and he was like Facebook. Massive. Yeah.
I don't know
like
any
they
of the
obviously
Facebook
had like
names,
direct contacts, but a majority of us didn't, and they put us in like this agency thing that didn't really do much. But one of the things they did was they gave us access to TikTok streams early, like being able to do that. So I would do that on the side, and I would have way more success with that back then, just playing games and stuff. I've done a couple now. The music ones have been kind of not great, but going from like a lot of gaming content to more music content as far as like podcast and performing and stuff like that, I guess it changes like who's seeing my content.
Yeah, I did try to do that when I was playing a bunch of Diablo and like World of Warcraft. I was trying to like put some gaming content out there on the weekends, but I didn't really see much off of it. And the more I've kind of heard from other people, it almost seems like if you mix up your content like that, it's actually worse for you.
Yeah, it's like it screws up the algorithm for you or something.
Yeah. So, and it's like, I honestly am not trying to do like another account just for game. I don't do gaming that much, you know. But yeah, I definitely would love to do some TikTok lives. I kind of want to make it different. Like, that's what I have the obs bot for, but I just haven't really gotten it set up. I know I move around too much, that I'm kind of worried the obs bot just won't work. But I don't know. Like, it's still like is not the greatest tracking cam. Like, it's better than when they first came out, but I think I move around too much, unfortunately. But what have been like some of the most difficult things that you think you deal with on a consistent basis when it comes to streaming? Like, is it whether it be like technical errors that you always find yourself coming across, or maybe like, is there something that you kind of always struggled with and finally learned? Was there a product you ever had to replace in your gear that fixed the long-term issue, or platform issues? I know we all deal with kick platform issues every now and then.
Audio issues are always a headache.
Yeah.
Technical issues, stuff breaking from Windows updates, you gotta love those. That's always a lot of fun. Most of those you get pissed off at, but I'll figure out. and then I'll
Right.
be like, okay, I need to remember this for next time. If this broke, do this, and then I'll fix it. Past that, internet issues were the worst. I had the worst internet for years, and I don't know how I was able to stream. It's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have been able to stream with the internet I had. And I was
And this is
literally
before
like,
you had like an outage for a while, right? I mean, you were gone for months, man. That hiatus. Man, that'd have been rough.
So we bought our house, and I had been streaming part-time, and we bought our house, and this was before I went full-time and everything. And the day of like closing, we called the provider, and they were like, yeah, we can't get service to you there. And I was like, wait, what? And so we didn't have internet actually for like the first 6 or 7 months of us living here. And then
Jeez.
I finally got them to like do stuff, but like it was like a wireless signal internet.
Okay.
Like, so it wasn't like a line. And where it was at, pretty much like in the spring, summer months, like it didn't work. Like we didn't have internet, so they would just cut us off for those months. And then we like did a bunch of stuff to be able to make it work. And then I like had to fine tune, like literally down to like every little single thing, my internet to get it to a stream for like Mixer and stuff. And then we finally were able to get T-Mobile, and we had T-Mobile's like home internet that you see like everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was like a huge upgrade, but the thing with them is like it jumps from 5G towers, and a certain 5G tower would have like a really good upload, and then the other one would have like a really shitty upload. And I would have to fight for hours trying to get it on the right tower, like make it find the right one.
Oh god.
So I would have to spend like, instead of being live like at 4 p.m., I would have to start trying to get ready at like 10 like a.m. and like fight stuff. So I would spend more time fighting that than going live, and that's how my like start of Kick was. And then near the end, like it just wouldn't change towers anymore. And I called them, and they were like, "Oh, you're whatever. You're fine. You're getting what you're supposed to." And finally, fiber was coming out here, so that was like the whole outage was I was just waiting on fiber because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So we finally got fiber, so like that's not an issue anymore. Like
yeah,
golden.
Internet issues, dude. I probably have to say that's probably the most frustrating shit I think I've had to deal with.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I Lori might remember this, and I don't even remember if this was on Kick yet. This might have only have happened over on Twitch, but we had like a month, almost like a month and a half, where every night it would just, my upload would bog to like single digits, and I couldn't do fuck anything, and it just started getting so bad. I had to have them replace like the router and everything like that, and even that didn't even like really fix it. I remember it happened again later, but all of it just eventually went away. They would claim that there was no issues in the area, but it was like, bro, this isn't never happened before, and it's just happening out of nowhere, and I'm just supposed to be like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but
dude, it's the worst. Like I would have stuff planned, or like, hey, we're doing this event, or this is going on, and then the internet wouldn't work. I'm like, all right guys, I've literally been doing this for like 8 hours, and I can't get it to work, and I'm about to start just breaking stuff. Like,
yeah,
I can't, I can't anymore. That was frustrating. Another thing is like learning to navigate the ebbs and flows of streaming. Like you said, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And just because your October may be awesome and you're like, wow, I'm crushing it, November may be super flat.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
That can be very
deflating.
Streaming is a very mental game. Like
100%.
In content creation, you have to learn how to like manage the highs and lows, which is very, very tough. And just like kind of take them in stride, and all right, this didn't work, we need to make little adjustments here and there. Maybe this will help fix, these issues and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You can't get stagnant. You can't get comfortable. I think when you get comfortable, that's when things start to go the wrong direction. Not to say you always want to be stressed or anything like that, but there should always be like, it doesn't have to be that type of emotion, right? Like there should always be like an excitement or something to look forward to. I think if you're kind of like a perfect example was me after DreamHack. Like I was telling you, it was like I almost wish I had another week off of streaming coming back from DreamHack, because DreamHack was like so chaotic and there was just so much going on. It's like, okay, I drove back that Sunday night, started streaming Monday. Like there was just no downtime. I made one video before I left to have ready for Monday to drop on YouTube, but after that I was playing catch up the whole week on all my offline content. And it's just like, it's time consuming, especially if you're doing all your own edits. You know, you do your own graphics. I had to get everything switched over to the Halloween themes and make sure all that stuff was going. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and I mean, I think everybody's content is obviously different, so the amount of work that you want to put into it is really up to you. Obviously, it's about how much time you have. I think that's one of the things that I am so blessed to have, is like the fact that being full-time content creator, being a full-time streamer allows me to invest more time into making the stream cooler and wild, or whatever you want to call it. Whereas, like, yeah, if I'm working all day from home in the same studio that I stream in, I don't want to be in this studio any more than I have to be, especially after working a 9 to 5. So it's like, yeah.
Do you find it hard to go into your studio when it's not stream stuff or content stuff? Like, do you want to go just hang out, like, game and stuff? Because I've got to the point where every now and then certain games I will, but for the most part, I'm like, if I'm not doing work stuff, I don't really want to be in here.
Every now and then I will. It kind of depends on how behind I am on content. Like when I'm like in a spot where like I know I'm behind on editing something and I shouldn't be gaming, then I kind of like, I'll edit that content, and then by the time I'm done with it, I'm like, all right, I just need to get out of here. Like I wanted to play WoW, but I don't want to sit at this chair anymore. Like that's definitely, I mean, it is like a self-discipline thing. I will say, as I would love to game more. And like last week I kind of was a little guilty playing a little bit more D4 because there's that new class that just dropped. But I'll be honest, like I do hold back a lot of game time that I really wish I could just dive myself into, but I know I'll get behind in the things that are helping, you know, essentially bring in an income for me and my family. Now, and I think that's what I love about having the console like out in the loft. Like there's certain games where I love that I can just sit on the couch, fucking lay down and just veg and just play. But yeah, I definitely don't feel that as much now that I am not also working from home in this office. I think when I was in that mood, I really just, dude, I wouldn't even want to be in here for streams sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel that fun. You got to love your studio. You got to make it a fun, a place you don't dread to be. But
whenever I was first starting out, like friends would be like, you play video games all day. Do you want to play video games at night? I'm like, do you want to go back to work after you've been at work all day? It's like, no, I don't. I want to like go watch a movie or something. I don't want to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to hear that all the time. I'm like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely got to get out. I like you know, being in Tennessee, I like it. There's always some cool storms and shit, so I like to go in the backyard and just chill and like just watch the weather sometimes, especially when we get storm season. But yeah, no, you definitely got to love what you do. But you gotta I think finding a workflow is definitely the most critical thing. It's like if you kind of are just all jumbled up and you're doing this and that and then that, and I get that ADHD is a thing. I have a small amount of it, but trying to organize yourself is definitely going to help things if you're doing a lot of offline content, and it'll make you more quick. It'll make you more efficient. Like honestly, like I hate when I do this, but I can, and I do it sometimes, and this is why I probably hated that first week back from DreamHack. I would be recording the video morning, editing it, getting it out by 9:30.
That's a lot.
Or 10 o'clock. Yeah, so to like do all that in the morning, like getting up at 6, like I mean, it's like getting up for a job, like essentially, you know, getting up and like I gotta do this, like I gotta do it because I haven't missed a daily video Monday through Friday for over a year, and I don't plan on doing it now. When I'm sick, when I'm on vacation, I've had content to drop scheduled and all that stuff. My OCD is kind of proud of that. Like it's just kind of like just to keep going. It's just like another milestone to keep hitting to see how long we can keep a streak going until I eventually somehow miss a video. But yeah, I've really loved it. I really wish I could stream on YouTube, but with the music shit, it just sucks. Really want to try TikTok. Right now I'm kind of just taking it easy. What kind of goals do you have as far as your streaming goals coming up here? Anything you're looking to set your eye on?
I have been slacking lately just because I've toned back my live streams with this like other offline content that I've been doing. And it's just a lot of work. And like you said, balancing, trying to do, especially if you're like scripting, recording, editing, captioning, doing all that to a video in a day, and then trying to go live for several hours, and then try to do like another video or something. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a toddler that's into everything.
Doesn't allow time for that.
Yeah. Like, I sit down at the desk to do something, and he's just like, "Daddy," and grabs the microphone. I'm like, "Dude, come on." Like, one thing, it's one thing on stream. Like, stream, he comes in and he can do his thing, and like stream's like, "Oh, hey, baby Sin, whatever," and he like runs around and it's chaotic. Like, if I'm in an interview or if I'm recording content or something, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Goals are just keep going on the podcast, keep getting guests on those, and keep pushing for KCIP eventually.
Yeah.
Want to do that. I was very bummed I didn't get to go to DreamHack. That was something I was definitely trying to do this year.
Would have loved to see you.
Yeah, it couldn't work this year. Like, me and the missus tried. We've been trying to like figure out every possible way to make it work, and it just wasn't in the cards this year.
Yeah.
And it sucked. But
Atlanta would be the closer one for you guys, yeah?
Yeah. We're in Tennessee just like you. So
okay, yeah. Yeah, I know people are mentioning Dallas. I mean, I'd love to go to Dallas, but I think I'm gonna wait till Atlanta again next year, to be honest. It's just like, these things get expensive, man. They're just they ain't cheap, dude. Yeah.
It is. But other than that, just keep growing and keep evolving the content. I want to, it was supposed to be an incentive, but I still want to get my old guitar player on stream with me and us jam some of the songs. Like, if we can figure out how to make it work and make it work well and sound well, which he has some ideas on, like how to make the interfaces and everything do. And his main thing is getting the tone he wants. Yeah. As a guitar player, I know you have to have, like, he's very anal about what tone and like how his stuff should sound. So yeah, I would love to do that. And then I don't know. There's some other stuff I have planned. Is just getting it executed and getting time. But just keep growing and keep going. I definitely want to keep trying to help grow the kick music side too. I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't want to, like, I guess it is kind of like a family, but I don't know. It's a group of people that you can tell are like genuine people. Like, everybody's been trying to help each other, and there's a group that have definitely been around since, the last year or so. I mean, everybody's kind of like stuck together and really like pushed each other and like hit milestones and stuff. And I'm all about that. I like seeing that and seeing people like when you and Chavez and everybody got your verification. Dude, that was awesome. Yeah. Like, getting to celebrate with like other people in the community, like all these milestones, you getting partners, stuff like that. Like, dude, I love stuff like that. Like, I really like in the not niche, but you know what I'm saying, like the community that we're in as a whole grow. It needs to be, and we need to do would be. I think and I'm not. This isn't calling anybody out. I think this is just a general thing. It's like, I think now it's maybe it doesn't seem like it happens as much, and definitely in the early kick days, it seems like there was more lifting up. And I feel there's definitely still people lifting each other up, but I feel like we got to be more vocal about it now, especially in the small community that we are in the live music category, because it's like, dude, the only way we're gonna get noticed is by being loud and celebrating those people that are hitting milestones like that. Like, they have that, the front page program was freaking awesome. Seeing Chavez get on that. I'd love to see more musicians get on it, dude. It'd be fucking awesome to get you to get some ideas going on there. I think would be great to pitch. No, dude, but seriously, I mean, like, you got everybody on the front page. You need to be in chat whenever some of it's going on. I love it. It's like, I mean, but you got some great ideas with the Conjure the Devil. Is that what's happening right now? It's like, yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I think you got some good ideas that you could put. You obviously do some of those behind the vocals podcasts on the front page. I definitely think there's some other music streamers that could get some ideas going that they would want to take in. But yeah, the music community's kind of gone through some ups and downs, I think, since Kicks kind of come in. Like we were talking about, there were a lot of people that did go back over to Twitch and that kind of jumped ship. And I know there's a lot of people that dual stream, and not that there's anything bad with dual streaming. I think dual streaming works for some, and I think
is probably I mean it's its own thing to navigate, right? Like dual streaming for me, I felt like it's hard to focus my attention on certain sides depending on which one's more chat heavy, I guess. But yeah, seeing them push musicians on the front page was also super awesome, because it's like, it's great to see that the Kick staff loves the music community, loves the music scene. It's just not something that you ever saw on Twitch, and not to mention Twitch even disbanded their whole music like side, like staff in overall over there. I remember it was just before, not this past TwitchCon, but before 2023, they had just gotten rid of the music community, like the music staff section, and there was another category, and they just lumped it into like creative arts or something. They just like gathered a bunch of categories that they broke all these staffs up and put it into like some general like niche category kind of thing. But yeah, I really hope that we can keep pushing the music category over here. I know we're definitely a small community. Games are always going to take control, COD, all that type of stuff. But I think if we're vocal about it, especially on socials, like, and here's another thing too, is like, guys, there's other ways to support creators other than showing up for stream. Especially if us streamers are doing things on other platforms, you can follow us, you can like, you can retweet, you can share, like, just a like on stuff like is showing supports in ways, just because we all got schedules, like, you know, we got kids, we got wives and husbands that work as well. Like, we can't be in everybody's stream. There's a lot of streams I go in and I lurk and I won't even chat because I don't want to get tagged and then walk away and then like miss more tags because I ain't trying to be like, oh, he's ignoring me, you know. Like, I don't want to do that either.
Huge lurker. I lurk a lot.
I do too.
Just because I'm usually multitasking. Like you said, there's something going on. I'm editing. I'm doing something, and so like I don't want to. Like you said, I don't want to feel bad if like Bill, for example, is like chatting with me about something, and then I like miss something he says. I don't want to feel like a dick for missing that. So a lot of times I'll just have him up. I'll be listening, and then I may say something if I have like a few minutes or something in between. But yeah. And I always like get if I do chat, sometimes I'll get too chatty and then I'll get distracted for what I'm trying to complete, and then I'm like delayed, I'm behind on what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you ever want to get Destro chatting, just talk about the Cowboys.
Not this season.
Dude, I have to say, I was about to blast you today so bad.
I don't give a fuck.
No, not about the Cowboys.
It's fucking duck season. It's
not about the Cowboys. I think it's your Instagram video you posted today, but I think it was the hat or something. It literally looked like Eagles, and I was like, I know he is not wearing Eagles.
He has my Ducks beanie.
Yeah. I saw it. I was like, okay. I thought it was Eagles colors at first. I was like, what in the hell is he doing?
Ain't no way. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Fuck them Eagles. Yeah. Somebody time out Bill Nye, please. Time him out. Yeah, no, it's the opening game in Anaheim right now actually going on. They're playing Utah 1-1 in the halfway through the first. So quack. Anyways, Destro's new motto is fly. Fucking no, it's more like die Eagles die is what it is. Fuck them Eagles. Now I ain't getting invested in football this year, dude. I ain't got the time or the life expectancy to devote any more stress to that team, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not. It's not worth it. So I've been enjoying not giving a fuck this season. So may the best team win, and I'm sure it'll be the fucking Chiefs again because they got the refs on their side. Anyways, so speaking of your podcast, you got your Behind the Vocals podcast, which you've had some fucking amazing guests on. And you know, from the frontman of Shadows Fall, both frontmen from Within the Ruins, as well as several others. How did that kind of come into fruition, and how have you been able to get some awesome guests on this podcast?
Mouth hugs, same way you got me. Mouth hugs, all the mouth hugs.
Damn, that's all?
No, so I I don't know how you are about this. I am a huge behind the scenes nerd, especially with music. I've always been very like infatuated with band DVDs, anything behind the scenes, VH1's old
dude,
behind the music.
Oh, bro,
Yes,
that's one of the best
stuff,
series ever created.
I love that stuff so much because I don't know. I always really, I've loved music since I was little.
Yep.
I've always loved the seeing more than what you see on the music video or on the stage. You know, I like to see how they got there, like what trials and tribulations the band went through to get to this point, and how they wrote this record, what state of mind were they in, and all that stuff, the touring life, everything. I've always loved it. And as a vocalist, there's not a lot. I mean, there's more stuff now, vocal centric, about how to do things, but there's not really a lot of interviews on how people approach it that I know of. And so I was like, you know, this is something, if I was a consumer and you were putting out, I would be into, you know, like it's something I would watch actively. And one of the coolest things I like about it is how I get ready to perform. Brian from Shadows Fall is 100% different. Yeah. And Tim, former Within the Ruins vocalist, he is 100% different. To even Marcus from Invent, like everybody is so different. There's similarities, but it's really interesting. So I had the idea, and obviously it's a little play off of Behind the Music with Behind the Vocals. But I was like, I wonder if anybody would. Why
didn't you edit your own little like Behind the Music? But you should have edited.
Dude, I was trying to avoid copyright.
This week on Behind the Vocals.
I was trying to not get sued. I'm still like.
Fuck that, get sued. I'd do that. I'd do that shit. I'd be the one getting the fucking subpoena or whatever they serve you or whatever. How do they do that shit? Subpoena, that's something else. That's like a court order, isn't it?
But I was like, I don't know if anybody, it kind of hit me one day, and I was like, you know what, this would be really cool to do, because I love music podcasts. I love, like I said, band DVDs, stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder if anybody would be interested. Because everyone would always ask me, how did you get into this? What do you do? How the hell do you do that? All that stuff. And so I was like, I wonder if I could even get guests. So I just kind of reached out to some people that I knew from, you know, playing and doing everything back in the day. And I had a bunch of people get back to me and were like, yeah, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to chat about that with you. That'd be super cool. And I was like, all right, cool. So I have people that are interested. And then it just kind of ran from there, and it's kind of snowballed. Tim is somebody I've known 10 plus years probably at this point.
Damn, that's crazy.
I knew Tim before Tim was in Within the Ruins. He was in a band called She's a Liar. And fun fact, the house I stay at now, or our house we bought, used to be a long time ago, a band house for a band I was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And Tim was on tour with She's a Liar and Within the Ruins, and it was right when Creature Creature wasn't out yet, actually. I think it was getting ready to come out. And it was the old vocalist Within the Ruins, and we played with them, in Nashville, and we were hanging out. And then Within the Ruins was known back then to stay in Walmart parking lots. That's just where they would go. Like, they would park at a Walmart parking lot and sleep. That was their thing. They didn't like really deviate from it at all. And we were just kind of vibing out with Tim, and we're like, why don't you guys come back and just stay at the house? Because they had to like go whichever way they were going. And he was like, yeah, all right, cool, let's do that. So the whole She's a Liar come back and like crashed, and like we hung out and drank beer all night. And at the time, the bass player, I can't think of their name, they were the old bass player from All That Remains with him.
Before the chick had joined? Like her or after?
I think it was pre her.
Okay, yeah, because they had a dude before she joined along. Yeah.
Talking like stories and stuff. We're like, damn, that's wild. And then Tim, awesome dude. And so like we've just kind of, I don't know, like we don't talk like a lot, but I mean we were like acquaintances, friends, whatever. And so I hit him up because I knew he wasn't doing Within the Ruins anymore, you know, for health reasons and stuff. Yeah. And he was just like, dude, hell yeah, that would be so much fun. And then afterwards he was like, I'll endorse whatever. Like that was a blast. And then I don't know, just Andy is from Nashville, Andy Atkins from Plea. So I've known him I've played shows with him and been around Nashville. And then there's people I've met on tour, like, and stuff like that. And then just reaching out and I guess knowing people. I just got him. Milo, I don't really know how that happened. That just kind of happened from Fear Factory, but that was awesome.
Dude,
and
you've had
Brian,
some crazy good guests.
Brian is a full circle one because Brian was on Zen Screaming, and obviously Shadows Fall was one of the first, like, one of the ones I really got into back in the day. That I was listening to a lot. So that was really cool to have him because I really liked a lot of the New England scene. Yeah. With the Kill Switches, the Unearths, the Shadows Fall. Yep. Tons of great bands up there.
Massachusetts fucking had a bunch of them, dude.
They were loaded.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah.
And there's some cool ones in the works. It's slowed down a lot, but like you said, a lot of people are back on tour.
Yeah.
So managing schedules, because like I try to mix it with, you know, if I get like a Brian, you know, then I also have like an up and coming band. Like I had Zachary from Keep Close, which is a band that's making noise, and I try to like mix it up best I can and just keep them coming. But now it's definitely slowed down. I had Invent Animate Marcus. He was on a couple weeks ago because he just got back from tour, so that's something we've been working on. And then there's some that I'm just waiting on management and stuff to get back. But there's some cool ones coming up. It's just everything's having to align with things that are going on within their lives and their schedules.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of bands are touring like crazy now, dude. Like it's like nonstop for some of them. Like there's no breaks in between. They're going straight to Europe right after, or they're coming back from Europe to a NA tour or something like that. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Like, guys, please go check. Make sure you, again, type in guest.
You would appreciate socials. A guest that got suggested for me. Steve, Within the Ruins' current vocalist.
Oh, okay.
Me and him chatted forever.
Yeah.
And still are chatting about all kinds of stuff. Dude is awesome. But he was like, you should do a one-off. You should scratch out behind the vocals and do behind the guitar. And he's like, you should get Joe on. And I was like, you think Joe would do it? And he was like, oh, hell yeah, Joe would do it. And I was like, man, that'd be fun. Like, I don't know guitar like you do. This or like a lot of like guitar players. I was like, but still, it'd be a lot of fun just to chat. Like that'd about all kinds of stuff.
Fucking wild.
But Joe is one that's been brought up.
I'll never bring my podcast back again.
Scott from Fallujah is another one. JT's another one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I was like, man, that would. Some drummers. Like
I know I have a lot of Twitch people I want to reach out to, like for next go around. I think I'm gonna do one more, and then just call it quits for season 1, and then just bring it back next year. But yeah, man, I need to reach out to Brandon and Porter from Atreyu. I think those would be cool ones to get for sure. So, but yeah, I don't know people. I don't know people. Much. Oh, dude. Bro, The Curse is my favorite, man. My favorite.
Good albums.
Yeah.
What's the one after Curse?
Death Grip on Yesterday. Yeah. That album is fucking phenomenal. Too short though. That album's only like 32 minutes or 35 minutes. Such a short album. But yeah, that album rips. So speaking of you know, some of our favorite musical influences, who are like your top 3 vocalist influences of all time?
When I was performing more or now? Because it does.
You can go with both.
Okay. So whenever I was performing a lot and we were like doing our thing in full swing, I always said my top 3, like I based them off of ranges. Lowe's, Phil Bozeman, Whitechapel. At the time, and this again is like 20. What our thing came out in like 2012. So I don't know, 20 that range, like the 2010, 2009, 2012. All that stuff.
Brutal ass Whitechapel.
Yeah, we're talking about like
scared me. I wouldn't listen to him because this shit was too intense for me, bro. It was too much.
What was it? Some Magnified, that one like guttural that lasts forever. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. I remember when Austin showed me those guys back in the day, our drummer, and I was just like, bro, what the fuck? Because they had Phil on. I think Phil guessed on one of the Bleed the Sky songs, or they were doing something. There's some collab that was happening between the guys in Bleed the Sky and Whitechapel. But yeah, I remember him showing me their stuff back in the day. I was like, bro, this is just too much.
Apparently, from what I hear, Phil is like a natural. He's just good at everything.
Dude, his singing is some of the most angelic
Like, even Mortal
shit I've
Kombat
ever
stuff,
seen.
like, he's one of them people that just, if he picks up something to do it, he's good at it.
Yeah.
We recorded our first demo that we went to like a studio to do, like not like pre-pro stuff, like demo back in the fun days when we go to studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to pay all that. It was with Brandon Cagle.
Okay.
And that is one of the original guitarists of Whitechapel.
Yeah.
He's the one that had the wreck and like messed up his arm and stuff.
Okay.
So we were up there, and he was telling us like tons of Whitechapel stories. Now he's their sound guy. He's on the road with them doing all their sound.
Sick.
But
Nice.
he was recording, and we had when we were up there, a Different Breed of Killers vocalist, Clint. He did a guest spot for us, so we had him up there too. It was like another deathcore band in that time. So Phil would have been my lows, because Phil at the time, dude, there's death metal people that definitely had wild lows.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just something about Phil and the way like his gutturals were. I was like, okay,
yeah.
if you can hit guttural, if I could do gutturals like that, like hell yeah, like that's me. Mids, I always really like Jonathan Vigil from Ghost Inside. I liked his style. I liked the way he did it. The more of the speak yell, if you will.
Yeah.
Very it was very like you could understand it very well.
Yeah.
You know? Highs were Black Dahlia Murder Trevor all the way.
Yeah. Trevor was a beast.
R.I.P. Trevor. Dude was a monster. I also liked his stage presence a lot too. He was so not what you expect for that style of music.
Yeah.
Just goofy, fun, and they were So those would be my three when performing. Now, man, I don't know. Will is up there. I think Will is extremely talented on like all facets. Will Ramos from Lorna Shore. I know you're a Lorna Shore fan, but
well, I mean, Will is fucking crazy. I won't doubt that, but I just their music is just so fucking nuts. I literally thought I was gonna get epilepsy when I saw them live because it was nothing but like blast beats the entire time. And the strobe. Oh yeah, no, dude, they're insanely talented.
It's crazy. But Will is the vocalists from then to now have evolved so much.
Yeah.
Like you listen to like
even guitar,
what we heard,
even guitar, just all metal, dude. It's not even like. Bro, the metal that's now is like so technical and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's true. It's so edited. It's so it's so like meticulous that it's like it's so on point and gridded and perfect and precise. I almost miss some of the old school like raw, like just
had to track it live. No programming to fix this or that. Like you had to hit
like
the tape.
They're playing with a tempo, but I mean like they're doing the whole track in one take. Maybe there's a couple sections that are like getting overdubbed, but for the most part you're doing the whole song in one take. You're not sectioning out every fucking section. I mean, I get it. A lot of these bands still can do it live. I will say I do know there's some bands that do that shit that when they were first getting started, maybe they're good now, but man, when they first started and I saw them back then, they fucking sucked. And so I can't listen to them because they were so bad live that I'm like, I'm never giving this band the chance of day, unfortunately. But
I've heard stories from people that they come in the studio and they've had stuff programmed, like drums will be programmed a certain way, and then the drummer couldn't play them that way. And so then the drummer would have to learn to get as close as possible for a tour.
Yeah,
because he couldn't play the parts.
That's crazy.
But it's evolved huge.
Yeah, it really has. Getting way too many strings on guitars now.
Oh yeah,
it's out of control. But so you're talking about Will's vocals are fucking nuts. What are some other ones that in today's day and age?
I really like Marcus Vic from Invent Animate. I think his range as far as like screaming and singing, because I've always, especially, so the older ones, you didn't have a lot that would have one vocalist doing harsh and cleans. You know, Atreyu, for example, the old Atreyu, Alex did harsh, Brandon
is cleans,
and that was pretty much like the way a lot of bands were. A lot of time the guitar player would do the cleans, and then the screamer would do the screams.
There was
like
only
that.
a few. All that remains would have Phil doing both.
Yeah, Phil,
and
Howard,
then Killswitch. Yeah, Killswitch would be Howard or Jesse. But yeah, I mean, like, no, like a perfect example. Another one, As Lay Dying. Like all those clean vocals were the basis.
Yep. So I've always been kind of like, I don't know. I will really watch those. I remember I went to Deftones, Periphery, and I cannot remember the other band. So they may have been a local band. I'm not sure. But I was really curious about Spencer from Periphery. I was like, there's no way. Like some of the stuff he's doing, like I just don't see how he's doing it live. And he did it, and I was like, okay, wow, we have come a long way. And then now that's more of the norm. Like there's like the Marcuses and the all these people. Spencer does a lot of it for Ice Nine, and list goes on. There's a ton.
I will say technology has, as much as we were just talking about like the editing process of how a lot of things can be now, I feel like technology has evolved to make a lot of bands, especially metal bands, ramp up their show performance at like maybe a lower a lower, God, they don't need as much on stage now, like where they can kind of just make like a light show and a couple other things based on the technology they got, and really make like a good stage performance without having all these other props, I guess, on the stage. So it's really cool to see a lot of these like opening bands have like really good light shows and other good things happening just based off of the technology side, making it easy for them to do that on the road. So there's a lot of good aspects in it as far as that. What's some of your favorite bands that you've seen live recently? And then what's one of your favorite concerts of all time you've ever been to?
Ooh, that's a good one. I haven't got to go to a lot of shows recently. The most recent one I went a couple years ago to see Slipknot, Ice Nine, and I missed the first part of the other band, so I forgot who that was. But they were really good. That was my first time seeing Slipknot. Granted, I was never the biggest Slipknot fan. I liked some of their songs, but I wasn't like hardcore, all-time Slipknot. I appreciated them. I thought they were bringing something different. Corey Taylor is an amazing frontman.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite vocalists.
After seeing them live, I have even more of an appreciation.
They're really good live.
To be the age that they are, because they're all 50s or pushing 50s.
Yeah, close to.
And those dudes went for their set was close to 2 hours, and they did not stop. Like it was full send.
Yeah,
just chaos. And Corey commanded the crowd the whole time, and that's like a big thing with the front man. Like he could have said anything and they would have done it.
Yeah,
he just had him in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
And they're phenomenal. Ice Nine was very good. Of all time, man, I've seen some good ones. There was one of my first like bigger metal shows I went to was Loaded. It was Killswitch Engage, Dillinger Escape Plan, Parkway Drive. Who's the other band? I want to say Every Time I Die, but I don't think that's right.
Damn.
But man, that show was nuts. Parkway was coming off of, they were releasing Horizons.
Oh shit.
So they were still pretty young.
That was heyday.
Well, not young, but they were still fairly new, like getting their feet in the
That was at
scene.
their best.
Killswitch
That was their peak in my opinion, but
Horizons is my favorite album.
Their best, dude. Nothing touches
Horizons
it to me,
so
dude.
But yeah, they come out, they played I think it's Siren Song right off the bat, and I was like, oh shit. Like it was just, they were crazy. I don't know if you remember Dillinger Escape Plan at all.
I do, yeah.
Dudes were nuts, hanging from shit in the ceiling and like just wild. And then Killswitch was Killswitch. Like they were just
Adam's
amazing.
a goofball. Yeah. You see him
Ghost
with Jesse?
Inside live was really good. The first time I
with
saw
Jesse
him.
or with Howard when you saw him?
Howard.
Oh man,
Howard.
I never got to see them with Howard, dude. Oh,
Howard's
man.
voice is magical. Like
Yeah,
that dude's got
really
such a soulful voice.
It is, yeah, dude. It's crazy that I didn't like his voice at first, man. I was not about the switch, dude. I was like, no, it's not Jesse, bro. I don't understand. I want to.
What's your favorite Killswitch album?
Oh, Live or Just Breathing, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're gonna stay with Jesse?
You want to know why that album is my favorite? because it's the only album that has the best drums, which is Adam playing that drums. You know, Adam's the whole drums on that. Yeah.
He was the drummer. He was the drummer originally.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
That's why that album's the best.
He like used to wear like a Viking cap or some shit back there.
The drums on that album to me are on another fucking level. Like, don't get me wrong.
He's
the
a
drummer,
musical genius in general.
He is, dude. He's getting the albums he's produced. Fucking, he's so many good metal albums.
He did Horizon. Horizon.
He did an Ocean. He's done a lot. He did an Ocean Between Us. He's done so many. Guy's a fucking. That guy's wild, dude. His brain is like, that guy is almost like from another planet too, where his brain's at. Like he's so able to multitask, and he's such a goofball, and it's just wild. But yeah, he's so, dude, those drums on that first album, like their drummer they've had ever since End of Heartache Dustin, is great.
Right?
Yeah, Dustin. Yeah, I think that's his name. The drums have always kind of felt pocketed to me. There's just such an energy to some of those songs on that first album to me that's just like, bro, you can tell Adam is fucking hitting the living piss out of those drums as hard as he can. Because he's a big motherfucking dude. That guy's like 6'6", 6'5" or some shit. Tall as shit.
And used to wear Dave Duke on stage.
Yeah. He wears all sorts of shit, dude. Capes.
With the cape.
Shorts.
Yeah.
We did a Kill Switch Engage stream, and I wore short shorts and a cape.
When we saw him, he put a beer box on his head too for a while. And says the most.
He says the randomest shit, dude. Yeah, he does. He says the randomest shit. There was a video. There was a video I just watched the other day. It was them playing some festival, and they were playing My Last Serenade, and he must have done like the most excessive amount of pinch harmonics the entire song, to where the rest of the band was fucking laughing like the whole time. Like even Jesse's trying not to crack while he's like doing vocals. It was fucking hysterical. Lori, did you see that? Colton dropped that video the other day. I had to watch it. It was pretty funny. But dude, dude, it's just like, that's what, man, like if you want to talk about somebody that's made it, that guy right there. Like it's not like he's not just sitting back being the guitarist. Like the amount of albums he's produced, like the fact that he did play drums originally, like his songwriting, like that guy got all of it encapsulated like in his talent. It's nuts. It's like I would love to have just an inkling of that talent.
Yeah, his brain's another level. Like the stuff he does and the stuff he's put out, and just his understanding of how song structure should go.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a big reason why Kill Switch is what Kill Switch is.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
Riffs, like you said, drums, producing. Because
Joel's amazing, but I definitely think Adam does most of the writing. Joel's, I mean, both those guitarists are amazing, but yeah. But I mean, they both do solos. They both rip.
Do they still play? They used to play what, comparison guitars? Is that what they played?
Oh,
I
don't know what they play now. I actually haven't. All I know is that Adam's guitar looks like a mini guitar in him because he's so massive. Tall. Yeah,
he's huge. And he can sing and scream.
He can sing and which is a really good voice. It's not fair, dude. I can't do anything. He's one of them, man.
He's one of them, like just gifted. He has it.
I know. Lucky. Anyways, what was your first concert you ever went to?
Oh shit.
Like big band concert.
Dude, what was my first concert? I don't even know. Probably like some festival thing. Probably like I don't know, probably like one of those big like spring festivals that have like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I would guess. I remember seeing like Alice Cooper.
Whoa.
Trapped. Got left old Trapped. And then, but this was like, man, early like 2000s maybe. I don't know. It has to be one of those, but I don't remember who I was on it. I was probably drinking too much back then. More than likely. Who knows? Who did I go before that? I've been in Nickelback. I remember going to them early. Nickelback and like Chevelle and Hoobastank.
Oh man, Chevelle's so good.
Ender. Who else have I seen? I went to some country stuff for like family things.
We don't gotta list those. That's okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Who was your first concert?
Kiss. I was 7 years old.
Nice.
Original members. They brought the makeup back on the reunion tour. They had to pause the show for 45 minutes because the pyrotechnics lit the roof on fire.
Sounds right.
Yeah, pretty fucking epic. So yeah, that was a wild show, dude. I literally like started. I was already like, so I kind of, my parents were always big into music, and what was perfect is like, my dad is the type that always had to have the new thing, and CDs came out, right? So what he'd do with all his old tapes, he'd just give them to me, and I would listen to Maiden, Judas Priest, AC/DC, Metallica, just Megadeth, all those tapes till they didn't work anymore type thing. So, but yeah, I got raised on all that shit like super early. So I'm just glad.
Who did that for me? Starting off, like, he had like this incredible CD collection that he had forever, like just always buying something new. And
yep,
I would go like stay the night with him because he's quite a bit older than me, and so like we would just stay up all night going through like his discography, and we would like talk about songs, meanings, lyrics, like, yeah, just everything from like Napalm Death to even like Two Live Crew. Like, it was like a broad spectrum of like everything.
Sick.
Yeah,
we listen
good
to like
to
have though, dude. That's like the one thing I kind of hate is like my parents like music. What, at least my dad's was like kind of more narrow. And
my
like
family was like that. They were real like into like country music and stuff like that, and like everything I listened to. Like, why are you listening to that?
Yeah,
and I was like, because I don't want to listen to pop country. Like,
yeah,
there's more out there than that. Like, I'd rather hear something else.
Yeah. My dad was definitely like all into like metal, progressive metal, classic rock. My mom was into classic rock, but she also loved like 90s and pop and some other stuff like that. And also, I think like growing up in the 90s too is like, yeah, you hear a lot of the stuff that was going on, and if you, unless you were really into music and you paid attention to it, I definitely tried to pay attention to it as much as I could. But I think now, the older I've gotten, I appreciate that decade of music way more, because a lot of those lyrics are like relatable now, being, the age I am with kids and a family. It's like, damn, dude, like some of this music that ain't metal is just like unbelievable. And it's like, I love that I have such a broad spectrum of things. I love the decade I was lucky enough to have grown up in, and just have parents that definitely fed me music. How did you initially get into music yourself? Did you ever start with an instrument first, or did you just go straight into vocals? And did you start singing originally before you started doing like death metal vocals?
So how did I get into playing music?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously always loving music. There wasn't really a lot of bands like in my area, so I would like mess around learning guitar. Terrible guitar player, horrible guitar player.
Do you play backwards like me, or do you play normal?
I play normal.
Oh, okay, good job.
Yeah. So
probably would have done better
I don't
if you
play
played backwards.
Well, like I don't need a guitar. Keep it I always loved it. Like I said, love acoustic stuff, everything like that. And like I remember the first thing I think I ever did was like this. Did you ever have those bands that weren't really a band? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like a group of people are like, we're going to do a band. We're going to be a band. And we get together and then we might start a song, but then nothing happens.
Yeah, those were, I remember those pre-band, like before the official, I remember
like, we're in a band, but you're not really in a band, especially when you get in a band later and you're like, oh, wow, I was not in a band. But
yeah.
I had that where like I did some stuff, guitar and stuff like that helping. And then a buddy of mine was like, hey, why don't you play guitar in our metal band? And I was like, well, first off, I don't know how to play guitar. Like, I'm not a good guitar player. They're like, we'll show you like fret stuff like that. You'll be fine. I'm like,
no
cool.
way. They're just so fine with just anybody off the street playing guitar.
It was a breakdown heavy band. Like, it was
so you
not a lot of
chugs. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, that's essentially what I did.
And
like,
the drummers had to make sure you hit the fucking cymbal at the right time. Yep, the crash.
Yeah, like I just chug, make sure I'm on beat with the chugs, and then somehow that morphed into, because like I was big on stage presence.
Yeah, have to. That's how I am too.
Yeah, I had to be moving, because like a lot of the bands I like were like August Burns Red or Killswitch. They were very big on like a big performance. Like put your energy in, send it out there, the crowd will respond, like that kind of thing. So I was doing that, and somehow it morphed into like, well, you're now doing backing vocals, which I didn't know what I was doing there either. I was like, cool, whatever, I'll do whatever. And they're like, you're gonna sing stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't think I can sing either, but whatever, whatever you guys need, I'll do. Like, so I started doing that, and then my cousin had a band, and I was always a fan of his music, just his writing style. Like, he is one of those, kind of like an Adam D. Obviously, he's not to the level of Adam D, but things click for him differently than other people. And he started off as a drummer that moved to guitar player, all self-taught, but he could just orchestrate songs, and the way he did stuff, I was just always like, how? Like, I'm not comprehending how you're doing this, but I was always a fan. He had a band, and I was real good friends, and like, we're all buddies, like all of us in the band and stuff. And they were like, we need a bass player. And I was like, well, essentially, I'm a bass player now, kind of. Like, I'm not really doing shit else. And so they're like, hey, learn our songs. So I left that band. And it was also found out during that band that I'm very good at promoting. Like, apparently I have a gift for promotion and getting shit done on that aspect. Because that band, we were able to do stuff that they had never done before. We got shows. Like, we played with Carnifex, with me being...
That's sick.
And just all this stuff that people are like, how are you doing this? I'm like, I don't know. We had like a local show that was like huge for like a benefit, all this stuff. So that was probably part of it, but they brought me over. I was in there for a while. Again, not good at other instruments. My dad was a drummer and could play guitar, but I don't have that ability. So I did what I did. Mostly stage presence, a lot of open chugs on bass, not a lot of stuff. And then it comes a time where our singer is a really good guitar player. Like, dude is a very talented guitar player. And he was the original bassist that moved and then become a singer and all that stuff. And he would lose his voice a lot. Bad technique, all that stuff. And I was just like, okay, look, I have a proposed switch for you guys. I suck at what I do. Like, I'm literally just doing what you guys tell me. That's it. I feel like I would do better as a front man, even though I don't really know like all the ins and outs of vocals. I feel like with how I do stage and stuff, like I feel like I would do a much better job up front. He is a shredder. He would do much better and add more musically that way.
Yeah.
So we did that. I started learning and ended up leaving the band due to weird stuff happening. Some shit went down. And I was like, all right, I'm not dealing with this. So I dipped. And I was like, I'm done with music. Like we had been doing stuff with like played a lot of shows, practicing all the time. And I was like, I'm done. Like that was it. That was probably my shot at music. Stopped and started getting messages nonstop from some friends. They were like, hey, do a band with us. And I was like, hey, no, I'm not starting another band over. Kept on. And finally they were like, hey, look, come meet us. Let's eat dinner. We want to show you some stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm not doing a band. They're like, we want you to be the vocalist. I'm like, I'm not doing a band. So I went over and I met which would be my lead guitarist. And kid was homeschooled, very shy. He was naive, but damn, he was amazing at guitar. Like, he showed me stuff he was playing, and obviously, like, he's very into, like, Opeth and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And he was showing me all this stuff he was writing and playing, and I was like, okay, you're really good. And then out of nowhere, he starts playing, like, Eric Clapton, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Shit. And, like, dude could just play anything.
Slow hand, huh?
Yeah, he just is I don't think I've ever seen him mess up. Like, he just makes things look easy, and I'm like,
bro,
hate you for that.
That's how my other guitarist is. My buddy Blake, dude, it's just like it's like if people think I'm good at guitar, I'm like, dude, you need to watch my other guitarist because I feel dumb when I play next to him.
But he'll say stuff like, oh, this riff is so hard to play, and then he'll play it like it's the easiest riff. I'm like, bro, really? Like, but so I was like, okay, this kid has potential. Like, I'm kind of into this. And then we ended up like building our band. and that was the band that like I ended up doing all the stuff with, and we were a band forever. One thing I'll say about
What's the name of that band?
Sirens Fall Silent. Band I was in before with my cousin. As I was learning vocals, I was learning my voice.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what I could and couldn't do properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like finding my range, and I was getting a lot of feedback like, no, you need to do this. This is how this part should sound. So I was trying to like do what they wanted instead of doing what like I like my voice, you know? So that definitely hindered me. Whenever I got with Sirens, they were just like, I was like, what kind of vocals do you want? And they were like, I don't know, whatever you want to do, just do it. Just go for it. So I got to experiment. I got to see like what I can do, what I do well, what I don't do well, you know, and yeah. So it definitely was like everything happens for a reason, and it made me a better vocalist and frontman because of it. But that's how I got into it. Nice. And the guitar player also sings. We figured that out like later on.
Yeah.
Of course he could sing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, I'll do the clean part, start singing. I was like, what the hell? Like, really? Like, dude.
Those are the guys that like could do like the one-man band down at Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Like everything. Yeah.
But our first show, so I told you it's homeschool stuff, and like real naive to like the world. Our first show, I'll never forget. We're at the venue. You know, I've played shows before. Our drummer had never played a metal show before. He had played like bar band stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was more of like a rock drummer, like 90s rock, like early 2000s rock. He wasn't like really a metal drummer, so it was always a different sound. And then our other guitar player, he had actually played keyboard in the band I was in previously.
Dang,
so
that's some fucking talented people.
They all, yeah, different level. But the guitar player, he tells us the day of the show, he's like, I have really bad anxiety. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I don't like being in front of people. I'm like,
bro, that's
we're at
part
a
of the
show.
gig.
There's people out there. Like, why are you telling me this now? He's like, I hope I don't freeze. I'm like, I hope you don't freeze either. Like, you're the lead guitarist. Like, what are you doing? Luckily, show starts. He's fine. Like, he was headbanging like into it. I was like, okay, thank God. He was like locked up.
We had that happen one time. One time we were playing a show, played a new song, and guess what? Our front man decided that, oh, hey, I'm going to forget all of the vocals to the new song. Literally walked off the stage. It became an instrumental the first time we played it, bro.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
So, yeah, that was interesting.
Was that the biggest, like, show blunder you've had?
No. I think I have a positive and a negative show blunder. Negative show blunder was a couple of us got into an argument with the front man before one of our shows. He didn't show up, so I had to front man that entire show. We covered Master of Puppets. That was pretty cool. I actually did okay. It was kind of cool. I actually don't know how we would have done it if we had him. The stage was so small that like we barely even had space for the four of us, and I was like, dude, if there was the five of us on here, this would have been crazy. But
so what you're saying is set a sub goal and you're gonna do Master of Puppets vocals.
No, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Lori heard it. Sub goal.
No.
Hit it.
Younger me was different.
No, you got this.
I was forced to. We weren't gonna cancel the show. I had to. I didn't want to.
You have to on this. Just sink or swim. You got it.
Yeah.
You can do James. You got James.
Do it.
Yep, there you go.
No. Anyways, so yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was like one of those, and it had to be me because I wrote all the lyrics. So that was like everyone's excuse. They're like, well, you know all the lyrics. We don't know all the lyrics like you. It was like, that's the dumbest, but sure, I get it. So yeah, I channeled my inner James Hetfield, did all the poses. You know, he does. Before I even got in a band, like, I had moved to a new town like freshman year and knew nobody. There was nobody my age. I didn't know anybody at school. Like, I would just come home, play guitar for hours, and I would literally just watch like old Metallica DVDs, old Slayer DVDs, old Iron Maiden DVDs, and just play along with them for the whole set list. And I would just like literally mimic and mirror like all the stage presence shit, right? And it's just basically create my own little concert. But that's how I really got into like the instrument. Like those hours on end of playing it until like dinner was ready was just like the practice I needed at the time. Like, I don't ever have time for that much practice nowadays. As far as a positive blunder, there was one time that was really hilarious. They tried this one place we used to play. would always try to cut our set short, dude. They would always, dude, like every time. And they tried to cut it like significantly short this one time. So we're like, all right, can we just play one more song, please? We got one more quick song to play for you guys. And then like the guy's like, okay, we'll let you play one song, but it better be short. We had been practicing Iced Earth's Dante's Inferno, which is a 16-minute long song. And we ripped this whole fucking thing. And we played it a little fast, so it was like 14 minutes. But dude, they didn't cut our set at all. They let us finish the whole fucking song. But it was like our giant like fuck you to them for always trying to cut our set short. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I love venues like that.
Yeah. The other blunder we had never happened. And that was kind of the falling apart of our high school band. We were supposed to open for Dragon Force on their first headline tour for Inhuman Rampage, and Protest the Hero was on that tour. I think there was one other band. We were playing at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood. We sold like almost 200 tickets, and then 3 weeks before the show, the venue calls and is like, hey, we got to remove a local band, and because you guys are the youngest, we're gonna remove you guys.
Damn,
bro, they literally asked us a month before if we knew another band that they could add to the bill, and we gave them one of our friends, Dark Haven, who we used to play shows with all the time. They got to stay on the show.
That sucks.
Yeah. That was
music industry,
fucking, bro. Yeah, that one crushed us as teenagers. We were just like, and especially with like, dude, some of us were obsessed. My other guitarist was obsessed with Dragon Force. Like Herman Lee was like a god to him. Like,
that's a huge show too.
Yeah,
that's like a big show. It's like big exposure.
Oh yeah, dude, that show would have been sick. I went. I was the only band member that went. No one else wanted to go. That was the thing. They were like, well, we can give you free ticket. That was what they tried to comp us with, was free tickets. I was like,
you're not playing an awesome show for your band, but you can come watch the show now.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. I mean, I did get to hang out with Sam, the other guitarist, for like an hour. I was chatting with him upstairs and stuff, and he was super belligerent and drunk. He was so hammered, bro. Those guys, I can't believe how they'd go on stage. I don't know how they go on stage now. But dude, back then, like, I mean, I don't know how you start a show that way. Like, dude, they had straws on their beers attached to their mic stands so they could keep playing guitar and drink their beer at the same time.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I did vocals. There's no way. Like, I kind of had a rule. I wouldn't drink before.
Yeah, my vocalist is kind of, he doesn't. Sometimes
like,
they'll
really
have like one to maybe just kind of warm up, but even then he's always worried about it.
Yeah, like I don't want anything to. First of all, I don't want to like get to the point where like I'm not doing proper technique and like I screw up something. But I also was like always like very focused on my performance. Like I wanted to be as close to perfect as possible every show.
Yeah.
And I was always really anal. Like other band members be like, "Oh, that was a great gig," and I'd be like, "Well, at the like 2-minute mark on this song, I didn't hit this part like I wanted to," and they're like, "I didn't notice." Like, well, I did. I don't like that. I'm mad. So like, that part will be better next time. Like that's just kind of how
dude. I'm 100% the same way. I think like I'm definitely the same way. Like any mistakes that I have, I know about. And dude, this is what's so annoying. And I know it's just Thong being Thong, but dude, bro, if I messed up on one of his pop punk songs when we were playing at the DreamHack fucking booth, oh, you better believe he let me know about it. I knew I fucked up, but he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Fuck, dude, bro, you're so mad I don't listen to these songs day in and day out like you, dude." But yeah, that was kind of funny. That was great, dude. It was fun. It was fun. I was a little nervous the first day because I haven't played in front of people in forever. But yeah, Lori's right. I always say I mess up on songs and like the audience doesn't ever notice. But like that's the thing though. Like I think musicians, we're our own worst critic, you know. And if you're not, I think there's something you're doing wrong.
It's very similar like streaming with like complacency. Like I never wanted to be complacent, and like you said, people in the audience don't notice them. Like, oh, that was great, or even like on stream.
Yeah.
Especially me not doing vocals like as often because I used to do them, every day essentially, and now not doing them as much. I'll be like, wow, that was awful, and people be like, oh, that was so good. I'm like, no, that was not good. Like,
yeah,
I know what I should do and like what I can hit, and I don't like what I did.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because that bar doesn't exist in my opinion. Like when it comes to any instrument, that bar doesn't exist. So it's like you should always be striving to ascend that bar, whether it's something you're comfortable with or not, which obviously it's harder to get into the more uncomfortable range because you start to kind of, because confidence is a huge thing as a musician. If you aren't feeling confident about something, then you can have even worse performances and start fucking up even more. But
start second guessing everything.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a show where you're like, damn, that was as close to a perfect show as I can have? Because I don't know that there is a fully perfect show.
Yeah, I definitely think there were some shows. Yeah, I know there were some shows where afterwards we just like, fuck, dude, like that felt like we crushed it. Like, it sucks, dude. Like, my college, when we got back together in college, like we made it, we recorded a demo and everything, and dude, we literally only played one show, and that show went off the chain. But then scholarships happened and people moved, and it just didn't work out. And it's just like, man, it was just like sucked to be like have left on like a high like that, and then like there was just things out of like our control to like keep us together. But I mean, God, dude, it's hard, dude. Being in a band in high school and college is hard, especially in college, because like everyone does different things, they go different places. It's like even right now, it's like when people ask about my band, it's like I don't even know if I consider us a band at this point. Like, dude, we're honestly just a project, unfortunately, because like we're kind of remote. Like the rest of the guys are back in Cali. My bassist is in Texas, but everyone else is in Cali. But we're all fucking.
That's kind of the norm now, though. Like,
yeah,
most
it
people
is.
aren't in the same area.
That's true. Yeah,
anymore.
no, and I've seen it. It is possible to make it happen. It's just you got to get that collective effort, I think, from everybody, and I think from some of the guys, it's definitely hard to do. Everyone's, some of us got kids, wives, family, all that stuff. It's hard, especially if like that's not your day job as a musician. If it's something on the side that you're trying to find, it's definitely hard, because like, where do you get your footing? Like if you're not going to be playing local shows, then you got to find another avenue to get noticed by, and that usually is going to be social media. So you got to be on point with your social media game as a band and marketing yourself that way, which I feel like I can do. But the problem is I don't want to make our band page another Destro page, and it's like I'm trying to rally the guys up as like best I can.
You need them to put content out for you to help.
Yeah
100%.
Yeah, my singer's finally like, he's building a studio because he just recently moved a couple months back, but he's finally getting his studio built, so he's gonna start doing content stuff, and then him and I are gonna try and get a podcast going ourselves, where we kind of like what you had mentioned before, where you kind of like analyze music. We want to do like our drummer Austin is his brother. I think it would be really cool to kind of get like the three of us on and get like different perspectives, and kind of like, like all three of us huge Incubus fans, just like listen to Make Yourself from start to finish, and get kind of like a commentary from like vocals, drums, and guitar. And I think it would just be kind of cool to like you say, like that behind the music, and even just kind of understanding the mindset of other musicians, I think is always interesting to me and beneficial, because you can learn so many different ways to think about things that you don't really come across in your own, whether it be your own music, your own instrument, or just your everyday thinking of music and how it's written or how it's played or any of that stuff. So with your band, did you guys do any EPs? Did you guys put out any albums?
We did an EP. We were lucky enough to record it with Joseph McQueen. He now is with some huge label. I don't know what label, but at the time, I don't know if he still has a studio or not. He had a studio that was split with Josh Gilbert of As I Lay Dying.
Oh shit.
So we went down there. It's actually where Arrow recorded their album, Sea of Treachery. Arrow recorded a couple albums.
So that's in Nashville then, yeah?
No, it was in Birmingham. We went to.
Oh,
Birmingham.
that's right. That's right. They used to record. That's right.
What is it?
I forgot. Jesse
called,
is from. They're from Alabama, but Jesse lives in Nashville now.
Yeah, Jesse moved. Jesse, he was in. I think he moved to California.
Oh, what? Really?
I think someone moved to California. Some of them are in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Maybe he did move out. I know he lived here for a while. But yeah, they're originally from Alabama.
Gideon, who is also from Alabama, they're in Nashville. There's a lot moving to Nashville, though.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Dave Mustaine lives here.
Yeah. Well, a lot of like
metal. Danny from Asking Alexandria.
Wage Ward's guitar player, who apparently is a songwriter for like studios and stuff. Cody, he's in Nashville and does stuff because I know a lot of bands are flying to him for like stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the guys from Felucia, a good hand of them just moved out. Brandon from Atreyu.
And all them, they're all up there now.
Yeah, Brandon from Atreyu just moved out to Tennessee too.
We just need to get a huge like metal scene Nashville hangout and just everybody go.
Yeah.
There's so many people up there now. It used to not be like that.
I know.
Whenever I was like really heavy in the Nashville scene, it was like your local band or your bigger local bands were like A Plea for Purging. Info Darkness was up there for a while. Who else was it? There was a couple others, but it really wasn't like many big bands, you know.
Yeah.
And there now, there's like so many people that not necessarily from there, but they're all living there now. So it's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of the big bands from my area, like 'cause I'm from SoCal, so it's like a lot of that stuff from Orange County area, San Diego area, like was already big by the time like.
Amigo the Devil lives in Nashville now.
Really? Oh, he does, Lori? That's wild. Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of people here, dude. It's crazy.
It's an influx of people. Felicia's from Cali. They're from the Bay Area.
They are. Yeah.
Like all them.
Yeah, they moved out. Scott lives here.
Everybody's moving out. I feel like there's a lot of people that were in Cali that are moving.
I mean, smart to get the fuck out of Cali. I said what I said. Sorry. I don't give a shit.
I mean, cost of living's probably a little better too, which Nashville is getting more and more expensive.
It is. I mean, well, okay, that's a whole nother conversation if we want to talk about
level.
Yeah, dude. I get the fact that we got out of Cali in 2021 and it was expensive then. I don't even want to know what it is now because I feel like now is like the prices here in Tennessee have almost gotten to where they were when we left California for a lot of stuff. But what are you gonna do?
Nashville is like just grown exponentially though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy. So are the surrounding cities. So Franklin and Murfreesboro are growing like crazy.
Yep. They're going. It's wild. Tennessee, the place to be, apparently.
Yeah, Tennessee and Texas seems like a lot of people are moving to those two places. But yeah, if you're doing music, it seems like Tennessee. You'd be living in a van down by the river. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just don't lure kids into the van.
Don't have candy, like free candy on the side of it or anything.
Yeah.
God, dude, so many jokes when we got our first band van. Dude, it was terrible. There was just so many jokes. I think it was called Fantastic.
That's awesome.
God, that van was.
Man, we never got to that point, dude. I wish we did. We just played locally all the way on San Diego. But we played all over, man. We would drive. Some of the drives we'd make for like that SoCal grid is just like Riverside County, San Diego to LA and Orange County, all that shit. I mean, some of those drives would take 2 hours, some of those shows, but yeah, I remember
right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places to play. There was a lot of places to play. I mean, some of them is shut down.
There.
Yeah, chain reaction, Soma. Yep. There's just whiskey, obviously. God, I know there's some others that I'm forgetting, but there's probably some that don't even exist anymore. I remember we recorded our demo at Love Juice, which is where As I Lay Dying recorded their first album, Railwords Collapse.
Yeah, because Tim and, well,
they're from San Diego.
Drummer Jordan, all them, they were from Cali. I think maybe Phil too, right?
San Diego, yeah. San Diego. That's why
is Nick from Cali?
Yeah, Nick was from. I thought Nick was from Cali too. Yeah.
Nick was always one of my favorite As I Lay Dying members.
Dude,
always really like Nick.
Yeah, Nick and I mean they're both.
Phil's
they're
amazing.
both insane at guitar.
I'm not gonna lie,
dude, their whole band, dude. I mean, they're.
I used to be way bigger in As I Lay Dying than I am now.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like.
Why? Because of the whole situation that happened,
no,
or
I mean, not not really. I mean, that doesn't help. I don't know. So there's a lot of factors. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I really like the lineup they have now is pretty strong. I really like Ken a lot.
Them having the Unearthed guys is fucking huge.
Ken is I've always been a big fan of him. Him and Buzz, to me, I love their work together. Shredders, great performance. Really liked them. The bass player is Miss Maya. Is that who he was from?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
great voice.
He's. I think he fits with them perfect.
He has a really good voice.
Yeah. I think he's still with Miss Maya. Oh, what's his name?
Ryan Neff. Is that him?
Ryan Neff. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like some of the songs are good now. Oceans, fantastic. The album before that with oh my god.
Meaning and Tragedy?
What is it?
Talking about Meaning and Tragedy?
Maybe.
You talking about the second album?
What album am I thinking of?
With Confined and stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that Meaning and Tragedy?
Let me see the album art.
Going with the moon.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. Confined, Through Struggle, all that.
Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah, that album's amazing.
Okay, so no, Shadows Are Security.
Oh,
that one is one.
Oh yeah. Meaning and Tragedy is the first song. Sorry, that's what I.
Shadows Are Security.
Shadows
and
Are
then
Security.
Ocean Between Us. Wonderful albums. I loved them.
You need to revisit Awakened.
Awakened.
That album is their most underrated album, and I would put
after.
It's 2 albums after Oceans. Their 5th album, I think.
Okay.
It's got Overcome on it and a couple other songs.
But I used to
that album is
wear
unreal.
their band DVD out. I loved it. I really liked them. I don't know. Like they're
so good live though. They're so good live.
Very good. We got to see them. So when we were recording our EP, we were down there for week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know, something like that.
Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went down there. Our drummer my old drummer, he still bitches about it. It's wonderful. I love it. I still make fun of him because drummers. I mean, you've dealt with drummers. You know they are. Bill, I know you're out there somewhere in chat, but drummers are very anal. And I'll never forget, he was in the drum room doing the drums from the scratch track, and McQueen was like, "The snare's off," and he was like, "No, it's not." And they argued forever, and I was like, "Is this ever gonna get fixed?" And like, I don't know how many times he kept saying it's off, and he would play it back. He's like, "It's not off. It's literally on." And like they argued nonstop, and it was. He's like, "That snare wasn't off." I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, just get over it. The snare was off." He's like, "No, it wasn't." But
so was it the drummer that was claiming it wasn't?
Like McQueen would like mic in and be like, "The snare's off a little bit." And he's like, "No, it's not." And he was like, "Here, listen to the playback." And it would be on, and he'd be like, "It's off." And he's like, "No, it's not." And they would just fight, and I'm like, "Oh my god, whatever." Back in like no digital stuff. I mean, you could do digital to like clean up stuff, but it was all the takes, like you said, like all raw. You know, we were down there. That was a fun thing. But we got to see As Lay Dying. They come through on tour and played, so we all went to the show one night.
That's sick.
And our bass player, bless his heart, was always, I don't know, dude was always lost. He was one of those, you know how you have that one member that's just kind of like, everybody's like a unit, and then there's that one that sometimes just kind of like floats around and like.
That was our drummer.
Load in, load out. And you're like, what are they doing? And they're just like.
That was our drummer back in the day.
So he was filming for like we're in the studio video because we thought we needed to do one of those for some reason, and so he grabbed the camera and me and the rhythm guitarist, because our drummer had to go back early, so he went back home. And me and the rhythm guitarist were downstairs like watching Dexter or something. And we were like sitting there, and the guitarist was up there tracking everything. And so the bass player takes the camera and goes off, ventures off and everything, comes back. I'm like, how's guitars going? Like, is he about done for the day? He's like, oh, he's not doing anything. I'm like, what do you mean he's not doing anything? Like, he should be tracking. We have like a schedule. We have like a time restraint. He's like, yeah, some dude walked in and they just stopped and they're not doing anything. I was like, who's the dude? He's like, I don't know. I was like, what did this dude look like? He was like, I don't know. He had tattoos. I was like, was he bald and have a beard and like probably a beanie on, maybe like full sleeves? He's like, yeah. I was like, did you say something stupid? He was like, no. I was like, give me the damn camera. So I look at the camera. He's up there and he's like filming dumb things like, this is the microwave where we can make noodles and like just stupid shit. And I'm like, he spins around and he's like, here's some random dude walking in the studio and it's Josh Gilbert. And I was like, hey, dumbass, that is the co-owner of studio. That's Aslay Dying's bass player. He was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I'm like, oh my God. And then Josh walks down and he's like, what's up, dudes? I'm like, oh my God. Like, our bass player's an idiot. I'm sorry.
He doesn't play the instrument that you play, sir. Just disregard him.
Yeah, he's now Josh is what?
Josh is a spirit box, which I think is great too. That's good for him, dude.
Smart move for him considering the trajectory of Aslay Dying, especially at the time, to go to spirit box.
Yeah.
Very smart move.
I think Ryan fits really well with Aslay Dying. I think his vocals are perfect for that Shadows Are Security Ocean Between Us vocal style that they had.
They were definitely in the big Christian band boom.
Yeah.
Which was the thing that, like, I've had that conversation with a couple guests. That was I've heard a lot of like horror stories from that, from people like in the industry of, you know, the band comes up, they're talented, talk to a label's like, hey, guess what? You're a Christian band now. Wear V-necks, your hair needs to be like this, and you're a Christian band. This is how we're...
Whoa, what?
Yeah. I know a couple of bands that actually, like, me and one of the singers, like, that's what he told me whenever he met the label the first time. It was a big label. That's what they told him he was doing. And he was like, no. And they're like, yeah, that's what sells records right now is you're a Christian band. So we're going to market you as a Christian band.
Wait, thanks, POD.
But and there
I'm
was
just kidding.
also a lot of Christian bands that
I love POD though. POD rips.
There was a lot that were definitely like depicted as that weren't. But there was
that's crazy. Yeah,
there were some that were that like For Today was one apparently that was very.
A lot of them did change though. Like a lot of them have like some I have read some interviews of Tim and like how his perspective kind of switched on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What Haste the
Tim
Day?
was very like vocal about it.
Yeah, he was. Haste the Day was another one.
I loved Haste the Day.
Haste the Day was
they have
so
a new
good.
song coming out in like.
Oh really, dude? They were so good live.
I was
so good live.
Big Haste the Day fan. I like old Haste the Day though. I liked
August Burns Red. They've always been.
I think they were one of the ones that were very true to what they said.
I kind of feel that way too. Just like seeing how
they haven't really changed much over the years. I mean, that was a great band. I'm trying to think
of some of the other ones. There were definitely some more.
I've heard of some of them that partied harder than some of the wild, brutal deathcore bands that you would think would be like crazy.
I'm sure.
Impending Doom, I think, was a wild partying band.
That's crazy.
But a lot of them, their views changed.
Right.
Andy, Plea for Purging was considered a Christian band, and he said that like Face Down luckily allowed him to like explore questioning things, because he would question a lot of stuff that normal like the Christian bands at the time weren't like asking, you know, in their lyrics and stuff. And he was like kind of surprised that I guess they would let him do that though, because some bands, I know another one that was actually from Nashville. He got signed. They were Face Down. They did like a concept record, and Face Down was like, we're not putting it out, and they ended up having to go to another label because it was questioning a lot of things. Yeah.
Dang, that's wild.
I
don't know what's worse, that story or the fucking 4-album record deal that Boston decided to sign that was only for like 5 years. Dude, they signed a 4-album record deal in a 5-year span in the 70s, and it totally fucked them. Dude, record labels just don't give a fuck, bro, dude. Yeah. They literally don't. It's fucking wild.
Some of them, you'll see some bands like where they pump out records really fast. They're just trying to get off of that record deal. They're like meeting the quota. They're literally like, all right, we got to hit some of your records. Like, they're just throwing shit out there to get off and like be done. There's a lot of horror stories for not like Christian band horror stories, but like Victory Records have a lot of.
Dude, yes, I've heard a lot of bad. I heard Victory sucked. Victory sucked.
I've heard one person I talked to, they were like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad while I was there." Like I had a good interaction, but the majority of people I've talked to, Tim being one of them, I don't think Joe has good things to say about them. It was not a good period for within the rooms back then.
Yeah. So speaking of all these bands and all these record labels, what's one of your top favorite bands of all time? Top 3 bands. You got a couple here?
Man, there's one you're gonna like, and I wanted to ask you earlier if you had seen them live. That's Metallica.
Oh yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah,
Nice.
I've seen Metallica
that was
5 times.
I thought about them after. I got to see them once, and I was so stoked. That was a band that definitely got me. They were one of my like get me into like metal.
Yep.
You know.
Absolutely. They're the reason I play guitar.
Yeah,
James, like literally, Master of Puppets. That album, I'll never forget hearing.
Favorite album?
Yes. Yeah.
That's probably my second favorite. And Justice for All is my favorite.
Justice. Yeah. I mean, if there was a bass player in that, then it'd be cool. But
I love Injustice for All.
It's so good. It is their most technical album. I will say that. Those some of those songs are fucking. Dude, they're just different, dude. They're just some time shit that album is underappreciated, and I think it's because it gets shit on because of the lack of bass in that album so much.
Live Is to Die off of it is my favorite still. I love
that acoustic bit, dude.
Yeah, so good.
So
that was
good.
always one of my favorite things, how they would go from acoustic to active distortion and everything.
Yeah.
So they're a big part, like heavily influence on me.
Side note on that, Dyer's Eve, the last song on that album. I got to see Metallica play that live for the first time ever. I was at that show. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
So they would be up there. Not somebody I listen to all the time now as much. I still love them.
Kind of how I am. I'd still probably say they have to be like my top 3 band because I wouldn't be like where I am if it wasn't for loving them.
I know they get a lot of shit too, and I used to even like
those people are jealous, dude. Those people are fucking. Yeah, fuck that.
I think my guitar player liked Megadeth more, and I was just like, whatever. Like, Metallica was what I liked. I liked the lyrics. I liked, Kurt and James.
Yep.
Lars catches a lot of shit. It is what it is.
Dude. I actually wanted to play drums before ever playing guitar, and the reason I wanted to play drums because I thought Lars was so badass.
But that was one of the albums me and my brother would go through like all the Metallica stuff and talk about the lyrics and stuff, and like. Part of how I got a love for lyrics, I guess, would be that.
James is a very good lyricist.
It depends on like
mood.
Yeah, mood, dude. I don't know if you do this. I go through moods. My wife will like make fun of me. Like, I'll listen to metal. Like, I have my go-to bands, and it also depends on like what I'm into at the moment. Like, who's real heavy on my playlist.
Yeah.
But I'll also go through like, dude, I'm feeling super nostalgic, and I'll just go through like old stuff I listen to, and I'm like, damn, this was such a great album or a great song, and like, I'll go into 2000s, I'll go into like 80s or 90s. It just depends on like what's going on.
Yep.
Bands I'm into right now, Invent Animate, I'm pretty heavy into. The Heavener album is fantastic, start to finish. I went pretty hard into Dayseeker for a while. I was really into them. I really like Rory's voice. Who else am I listening to quite a bit? Since it's October and spooky season, Ice Nine Kills is a great one. Yeah, I have to. Me and the wife love them. Man, who else am I into? I don't know. I bounce around a lot. It just depends.
What's like a very unsuspected like guilty pleasure band that like nobody would suspect you like love and listen to on the side? The most out
There's
there.
definitely ones that I do to like piss off the wife and stuff, like Bill Murray. Because she's just like, I know you're not listening to that. Man, who is some? I like classical stuff too. I love like classical music. I love like 90s stuff. Like I like Incubus. I like a lot of that stuff. I don't know, man. What is a good people wouldn't suspect?
Come on, you had to have an emo phase or something, huh?
I didn't really have an emo phase.
I didn't either, really.
I mean, I liked like
Taylor.
stuff, but I
Taylor.
didn't, like...
What Lori says, Taylor Swift.
No Taylor for me. No Taylor
Fuck that.
I don't listen. I don't know. I don't do a lot of pop. I listen to radio like back when I was younger. Back when like stuff like Incubus and Counting Crows and like Blues Traveler, all kinds of stuff like that was on it. I really liked it. Obviously like Seven Dust, Linkin Park, all that.
Yeah.
Man, what is a good one? I like breaking out stuff like 12 Stones and stuff every now and then.
Okay. Nice.
Just every now and then, just to like throw somebody off. Or
right.
What did we got on I think Miss Go was in streaming. She was calling it Dad Rock or something.
She fucking hates. She hates my number one like guilty pleasure, man. And I love that she hates it because she's an idiot. I'll say it. Yeah, I hope you're listening to this podcast, Miss Go. You're an idiot because the Goo Goo Dolls are the fucking one of the greatest bands that have ever walked this fucking planet. Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah.
So how's that a guilty pleasure for you though? That's kind of like right up your alley though.
Is it? When do I ever play anything close to Goo Goo Dolls?
Well, no, I just feel like that's kind of your jam is like that era style is kind of what you're into.
I love Goo Goo Dolls, dude. Me and the missus see them every time they're in town. They're so good. Johnny is like a fucking is such a good songwriter.
Damn, I'm gonna think of somebody after the fact. I'm trying to think like.
All right, you want me to name like a deeper closeted one? A Dashboard Confessional. Sure. There you go. How about that?
Okay. I was never big into Dashboard. I liked.
That was like that was actually like the only emo band that I really got into because it was like more acoustic.
Song.
Hands Down. Vindicated.
Like, what was the second one?
Vindicated. That was the one on Spider-Man 2.
Maybe. I don't know, whatever their big one was, I was kind of into.
I feel like Vindicated was probably their biggest song, but Hands Down's pretty popular. I mean, they had a lot of good songs. Chris is a really good songwriter. Both Chris and Johnny do like those weird ass dumb acoustic tunings that are like every string is like an open chord, so it's like you can't just like pick up their songs and play them because they do all these whack ass tunings. And
speaking of whack ass tunings, completely kind of off subject, but the tuning made me think about it. Have you ever watched Studio 666? That's that Dave
Grohl. Okay, yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
Dude, I watched it for the first time the other night, and it's bad but good. Like it's one of them. Like
is it like if you get really, 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 really stoned, it would be like hilarious? Kind of like Tenacious D.
I mean, there's some really cheesy shit in it, and it's Dave Grohl, so it's Dave Grohl being Dave Grohl.
So is he cheating on his wife in that movie, or?
No, he wasn't cheating on. Well, no, I don't think so. Not this time.
Too soon?
But I don't know. It had good kills, but he comes up with a tuning. What does he say? He's like L sharp or something, and the band's like, "The fuck is that?" He's like trying to explain it. He's like, "It's gonna be like this, and it's gonna like essentially summon the devil." And he plays it, and they're just like, "So what octave off of this is that?" And they're like,
"Fuck, I'll have to see that. What is it on? Is it on a streaming service?"
Yeah, I'll have to look. I want to say Peacock, but I feel like it's wrong. Maybe it's on Prime. I don't know.
Okay.
One of them. I watched it the other night.
I'll check. Yeah, I'll have to.
I was like, I don't care to see it, and I was like, I'm watching it.
We're gonna be doing a Discord movie night at the end of the month. We're having the community vote on some movies right now. So yeah, I'm excited. I didn't put that in there. Dude, it was so hard to pick songs for them to vote, or not songs, movies for them to vote on, because it's like, bro, the amount of horror movies and like you could section these out in like decades, right? Like you got like the late 70s, early 80s, which are all the iconic characters, and then you got like the mid 90s to like early 2000s, which is like your Screams, I Know What You Did Last Summers, some of the other supernatural thrillers, and then you got all like the Paranormal Activity post stuff where it's like, what, Black Phone and like some Sinister and like what Hauntings and what's the
Insidious is another one.
Yeah, you got a lot of those, so it's like I didn't really know where to toe the line. I was like, man, I kind of did some across all of those, but I also did some of the ones that I really loved, like threw in some random ones like 13 Ghosts. God, what was another one? Like, have you ever seen that movie Triangle?
Yeah. Well, we actually, for the other podcast I do, we started a new segment called Cinema, of all things. and we tell them to give us like an obscure horror movie, and
Bro,
we're gonna break it down.
That movie is
So that was
amazing. I love that movie.
I will say, if I would have watched it back in like 2009 or whenever it come out, I would
That's
have
when
been
I
way more
watched
into
it. Yeah.
But I appreciate it because like I think the story and the whole thing behind it is a really cool concept. So I really like that. But obviously, like watching it in 2024, there's dated parts, and I was like, okay, but I don't think it was a bad movie at all.
Yeah. So you just watched it recently then?
Yeah, I literally just watched it like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I remember when that came out, my bassist was like, we're going to watch this movie. I'm like, what is this? And we were like super stoned. So I was like, what? By the time it ended, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, dude.
The loops and shit.
Right. So speaking of horror movies, I definitely had these questions in there. We got you here for October. We got all the cool shit behind you. What are some of your favorite all-time horror flicks?
How many do you want?
You can 5. You want to go with top 5? Is that enough?
Shit. Okay. Halloween 1978 is probably my top. It's as close to perfection as you can get.
Yep.
You don't need a lot of gore. It's suspenseful. It does everything.
It's
the
realistic.
Soundtrack, the music. John Carpenter's music is top tier. I love how he did that soundtrack, or the score rather. Sorry. Trick or Treat is right there behind it. I love Trick or Treat. After that, man, I really like Wolfman. I love Universal Monsters.
The old school Wolfman, or are you talking about
like Wolfman? But I also really like the Benicio del Toro one too. From 20 whatever. Yeah. 2010, whatever it is. Man, what else? Tough.
Yeah,
what
this
all
is
do I watch
rough.
every year? I mean, obviously Jason, Freddy's are up there. I'm a big slasher fan. I love slashers. Yeah. I do like creature features too, though. 5. What else would I put up there? Thing is going to be up there pretty high, probably.
Ooh, God, I just rewatched that not too long ago. I forgot how amazing that movie is, bro. Really that movie's so good.
When I watched, first time I watched it last year, I'd heard good things for a while, and I don't know why I didn't watch it. Train to Busan. Great.
Oh, that's the one with Brad Pitt?
No. That's Bullet Train.
Oh, yeah.
This is a zombie movie. It's like is it Korean? It's either Korean or I don't know. It's one of those like overseas zombie movie.
I do remember the title of that movie. I'm trying to picture it.
I had seen the title and I'd seen it around and I was like, I should watch that. Zombies, it'll be cool because there was that whole Walking Dead zombie period where like zombies were heavy everywhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I didn't watch it. And then last year I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna watch it. I haven't seen it.
Did it come out around that time? Or is it fairly new?
Maybe. It's been out for a while.
They're making a
2016.
Okay. Oh, okay. They're making it 28 days later or 28 years later, right?
Yeah. That's a good movie. 28 Days Later is really good.
Yeah.
But no, Train to Busan, dude, I was impressed. My wife was even impressed. She was like, damn, that was a good movie. I was like, that was really well done. Like, really good zombies, really good story.
I'll have to check it out.
It's on one of the streaming services right now, and I don't remember which one again, because we do like a different movie every night. It's like our tradition.
Yeah.
So all the streaming services start running together really bad.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I'm just like, I don't know where the hell I was at last night.
I wish we had the time to do that. That'd be super sick. My wife, like, she gets to do that a lot. Like, there was as they were getting in October last month, she was watching a bunch of horror movies because they were having signings with different people. Like, they just had the kid from Child's Play. He did the signing not too long ago.
Right? Huh? He was Andy. You talking about from the original Child's Play?
Yes. Yeah, I forget his name. Jesus. Oh, sorry.
Wing.
I got PTSD from those jump scares, so the resub right there scared the shit out of me. That was really loud. Anyways, sorry. I'm okay now. Thank you for the resub, Grim Skull. What's going on, dude? Yeah, I've been trying to watch some, but like, man, I just never.
Dude, it's tough right now. Like,
dude, after stream,
obviously we can't watch most of it around our toddler because.
Yep.
Probably not the best thing to watch.
Dude, when I was a kid, my parents didn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, mine gave up. They were just like, whatever. You have nightmares, it's on you. And I was like, cool.
That's my parents were just like he thinks the villains are cool. That's all that matters. Like, dude, I
mean,
remember.
Cool,
yeah, they were. I mean, there's so many iconic ones. When you're a kid, it's just like, yeah, these are fucking awesome. But now it's like, yeah, dude, I'm like, I try to watch them late after the kids go to bed, and it's like, by that time, dude, sometimes I can't stay awake for the damn movie.
That's my wife. Like, I do my best to stay awake, and I do a better job than her, but she always passes out.
Yeah.
But like, it's usually after he goes to sleep, and then it's late at night, and then we're just like, yeah, it's rough. Like, we'll have to do one here when this is done, and she has to work in like an hour. She has to work like overtime tonight.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so she's got to like log on here in a little bit. So it's gonna be fun to figure it out tonight. Tonight's gonna be a rough one.
Well, I won't keep you too much longer. That way you guys can get to your movie. I still got to finish. Started watching the first Nightmare on Elm Street the other day, and I still haven't finished it. Side note: have you been watching The Penguin?
I haven't watched this week's episode. I have to watch it before tomorrow because we got to talk about it on that podcast. But it is amazing.
Yes. You liking
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I said this and
unreal.
So we break down like obviously like the big shows. Me and my co-host will like talk about him in depth. He goes like super detailed in his notes. And obviously he loved Game of Thrones, boys, all that stuff. Well, House of Dragon, whatever. Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, same shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna say this out of this year, this is the best show of the year. I was like, and he praised House of Dragon, which it was great. It was good.
House of Dragon was good. It did have a couple down episodes.
It was a little bit more of a down season than the first season. I felt like I expected more shit to happen than it did.
Yeah.
So still good. I'm not knocking the show at all.
Still better than season 8 of Game of Thrones. Dude, the last Boys season was very up and down.
But this Penguin to me has been fantastic. Colin Farrell deserves the award 100%.
Absolutely.
I keep saying it's Sopranos and Gotham. Like I'm just interested in it. It's so good. I want more like underbelly Gotham shit. I think this is a formula that they should stick to for Batman.
Yeah.
Do your movie. Fill in between with the underbelly. Like give us some of these villains. Make them not necessarily likable, which Oz is more likable thanks to like Vic and stuff, but I think it's a really good thing. I think
like you can definitely put that perspective of like, I mean, I'm not trying to people are like, wow, this guy is a villain. But they like some of these movies are doing a good job of putting a perspective of sympathizing with the villains of why they are the way they are. And I think in today's day and age when like there's so much mental health issues and other things that are factoring like into things that can just affect one's perspective of reality, like the perfect example, the first Joker with Joaquin, the way that went down was so well done. I'm not going to ask you if you saw the second one. I don't care.
And I have not heard good things, so I will be waiting until that's streaming. And
bro, it's already like about to be on streaming platforms next week.
I've heard it's really bad, but I've also heard Phillips wanted out. He was just kind of like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to be tied to DC.
Is that the director?
Yeah, Todd Phillips. I think he was just like, I don't know. That's speculation.
I hate musicals anyway, so I already was just like, okay, bro.
I don't know, man. I was skeptical about it from the start because I was like, man, the first one's so good. What do you do?
Yeah. Like, apparently, you do a musical and you add in Lady Gaga.
I don't really know why.
You don't do anything Batman related. You just do that.
Yeah. Side note, what about Terrifiers? Like on top of it now, I believe it's like top of the box office.
And that's an independent film, which is crazy.
It has come a long way from the very, very low budget first.
I haven't seen any of those movies, but I've heard they're fucking gnarly.
They are. Okay, I'll say this.
Do you really need a vomit bag?
No, I mean, I'm very desensitized to horror movies, though. Like, none of that really bothers me.
Yeah, I feel like it, judging by your room.
Yeah, well, I mean,
my wife hates clowns. She would hate.
Dude, you should see what we're doing for Halloween. Like, okay, I have a problem. You can see like, I don't know how many masks you can see. Obviously, you see Sam back here.
Yeah.
But there's 3, 6.
There's so much shit. I need to get you something
11,
signed, dude.
11 masks up on the wall on shelves. 3 right there, 1 right there, 1 right there, and then another one that I'm not going to talk about because I always make a big reveal every year. Like, that's like our thing. Like, we have like a traditional Halloween party that I guess we inherited from our friends, where everybody does costumes. For some reason, we're all children, like me and my buddies and stuff, and we don't want to tell each other what we're going to be unless it's a group costume. So everybody has to wait until you see each other, and then you're like, oh shit, you're this year.
That's cool.
And me, I always go the horror route. That's just kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Except for last year, I was Toxic Avenger.
Nice.
But yeah, I collect the mask, and then I use them. We build props, and then we have like literally we close like part of our house off to make it a haunted house.
That's cool.
And then like there's a whole bunch of shit in the yard. Like my son's currently running around calling it like Spooky House in that part. And like the masks go on the props, and so they get reused. And yeah, it's insane. For
Well, I think you just answered one of my next questions, which was one of your favorite things to do in October / Halloween. I assume it's that party right there. Yeah. That's really cool.
Trick or treat now with my son is a blast because the last year I dressed up as Michael as like a classic because my favorite.
Yeah.
So and plus I feel like out of some of my masks, it's probably the less rough one.
Oh yeah.
Especially though I'm carrying like a 2-year-old around. It's probably not ideal. Yeah. But he would just like come to dad and like Michael's carrying him around like the neighborhood and stuff. But like I would just stand there and stare at kids and like watch them and their parents like separate and run, and it's so fun. Like, terrorizing the neighborhood. And then our group that was like trick or treating, all of his little buddies and stuff, they're all just laughing. So I'm sure we'll do that again this year. The movies, I love watching the spooky movies.
Yeah.
I try to find something new that I haven't seen each year, and my wife, she didn't watch a lot of horror growing up, so a lot of stuff's new for her.
Yeah.
So she gets to experience it, so that's always fun.
So
I try to like get her a new franchise or something each year that we really dive into.
Yeah, I really want to dive back into them, dude. I used to be so obsessed with horror, and I think I've told you this before. There was just something about the paranormal, like activity, like the trend that followed afterwards. I just was so over so fast. I don't know why, dude.
In horror for a while.
Yeah.
To me, like you mentioned, you had kind of a golden age where like the slashers, you had like your Freddys, your Jasons, your Michaels, then your Screams, and
then you even had like your really good, you had like a good 5 to 10 years of really good remakes, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Hills Have Eyes. There was just like some really solid remakes. The Hitcher, God, that's an underrated horror movie, even the original. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I know there's a lot of newer ones. Like my daughter's been bugging me to watch Black Phone. I remember liking Sinister. The Ethan Hawke ones just seem like they're really good. I've been wanting to watch the what's the one that follow the Annabelle like doll? The Conjuring? Are those the Conjuring series?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch those. I haven't watched any of those.
Those are based off of true, obviously loosely based off true stories. The Warrens are like real people.
Yeah.
They investigated the Amityville Horror House.
Dude, and there's another remake that was really good with Ryan Reynolds.
I will say I rewatched it again this year. And you can definitely tell it's a 2000 horror movie.
Yeah.
Just some of the shit they did, like very dated, and some of the stuff that was like, I guess the norm in horror movies back then.
I feel like you don't really have like the cult classics anymore. Like some of those random underbelly like movies, like dude, a perfect example that this movie doesn't get a lot of love, but the ones that love it, it's there's a whole cult behind it. Is oh my god, not Deep Rising. Oh my god,
Dead
what's
Rising?
the one?
Or not Dead Rising.
With Sam Neill and oh, why am I blanking on the movie right now? It's the space movie where they're like, oh god, dude, why am I blanking? I literally was just looking up this movie the other day. It's got what's his face from Matrix? Morbius?
Oh shit! I just watched that the other night.
Yeah, I watched it a lot too long ago, actually. Event Horizon.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that movie, dude. Like that's
that
like
dude's from Jurassic Park in it too. What's his name?
Sam Neill. That's Sam Neill.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like, dude, that movie, like, I just don't. That, you know, you can call that movie what it is. It's not like the greatest movie, but dude, what a mind fuck that like movie was too. Like it's hard to find movies.
There's a new modern movie you should check out. I will say there's not a lot of modern horror movies. Most times I'm like, like it's kind of been done. We've seen something like this, you know, like we're kind of in the reboot remake stage where they're just
recycling ideas. Yeah.
There is one that there's actually two that have stood out to me. Obviously one's a little better, but Long Legs.
I have heard about that, so I should check that out.
Nicolas Cage is in it, and automatically you're going to be like, it's Nicolas Cage. Because my wife literally said, it's Nicolas Cage. How scary can it be? And I was like, I don't know. We'll see. Dude, that was a solid movie.
Yeah?
It was kind of a fresh idea.
Okay.
It was cool. Late Night with the Devil was really cool. It had a very 70s
I want to watch that. That one looks good.
It does get a little goofy at the end, but it literally is like watching a 70s show, like down to like how they'll roll commercials. And I'm like, okay, I'm into this.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out.
Violent Nature is a really cool take on a horror slasher.
Okay.
It follows the perspective of the killer like 85% of the time.
Ooh, what was that one called?
In a Violent Nature.
Violent Nature. Okay.
Yeah, it's so you don't get like a lot of like the people. You get a little bit of like people talking, but not much. It's mostly like literally camera over shoulder, and you're just following this killer.
Oh shit!
Murder, and the kill scenes are insane, like brutal.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, so that I feel like him and Art the Clown are our two possible horror icons right now that we're getting. Finally, we're getting somebody.
Art's from Terrifier.
Yeah, Art has gained. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, I saw that Ice Nine Kills just did like a song for the third one, and he's in the music video.
That's a good need by them. It's so smart.
I need to try and get into them. I know I need to. It's so cheesy to me.
They're musically though, like they're
really good.
All super talented. Apparently, every person in the band can sing.
I'm sure.
So it's like
I feel like it's every metal band now.
Dan was as Blood Runs Black. I think guitar player.
Dan was out for a little bit too because he had like didn't he catch? What did he?
Dan had something.
It wasn't cancer. It was something.
At one point.
Was it a cancer scare?
Yeah. He I don't know that he might be back touring now. He wasn't touring for a while for some reason. It wasn't. I don't think it was that. That was part of it, but I think he stopped before that for something else. But Spencer and them, like, I feel like that's a really good market for them though, and it's kind of they're doing like horror cons and all kinds of shit. And then I don't know if they're in the movie. I'm kind of wondering. I know the song is in the movie, but I'm wondering if like the music video, the way it's shot, I wonder if that's part of the movie somewhere. I don't know.
Interesting.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it though.
Yeah. I gotta get caught up on all these because I could use some new movies. Like movies, I feel like it's just been so stagnant lately. It's just like I don't know. Same with shows too, you know.
Yeah. The wife was really excited to watch Immaculate. That had Sydney Sweeney in it.
Is that a show or a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. It was like a horror movie. And she was trying to tell me something about the Omen. And I was like, so it's another Omen? And she's like, no, this is before the Omen. It had nothing to do with the Omen, by the way.
Oh.
And we watch it, but it's kind of the same premise. Like
also
kind of same
absolutely
premise as,
love
like,
that franchise. Baby. By the way, that's I know a lot of people don't dig the Omen movies because there's probably like a lot of like talking on that shit. But dude, those movies are great. That's another one Sam Neill was in. He plays Damien in 3. Dude, Sam Neill has actually played a bad guy in a lot of movies. It's kind of crazy.
The Immaculate's like same concept, like nun or like whatever. A nun gets impregnated with like Satan's child. And I was like, okay, so it's the same kind of concept. She's like
Omen mixed with Rosemary's Baby kind of thing, huh?
Yeah. They have the prequel for that out now.
Oh, really?
Did you ever watch Ozark?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I know so of that show,
the girl from Ozark though, the like, blonde, curly hair, short hair. I don't know the actress's name. She's Ozark.
I do not.
Anyway, she is in. She's in. It's called Apartment 7A, and it's a prequel, and it's really cool because I actually watched it before I watched Rosemary this year, and if you watch them, like it literally goes right into Rosemary.
Oh shit!
So like it's like literally the events leading into and where that movie ends, Rosemary starts. So it's pretty cool.
Huh. Crazy. Is there any other like prequel, like good? What are some good other prequels that that you know of that tie into some classics? I feel like there's been some that. I'm trying to like. I guess not, huh? There's really not a lot of movies that were like.
I feel like they're trying to do some now on some of them, but
they kind of hit or miss. Because like no, that one wasn't a prequel.
The most recent Saw was actually the best it's been since
original.
Yeah, I would say original or maybe 2, but I don't really remember.
Dude, that first one, I literally stood out of my seat at that ending, bro. I did like, yeah, so good. That's definitely a classic for me. That's one of my favorites. Hell yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure we could talk about these movies all night. Yeah. But I'm sure you would love to.
And streaming.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff. May have to join you again, and we'll have like a full discussion.
We just gotta go run some WoW dungeons and just shoot this shit while we're doing this.
Oh yeah.
Just talk about bands and horror movies.
I have not got to play enough WoW. Kind of like you, it's hard to game. Like it's hard to get time to game.
It is, especially at the same time when someone else is playing that you want to play with.
Yeah.
That's the real tough one.
Joys of being a content creator, especially when
a dad.
Life.
Well, all right, dude. I appreciate you fucking hanging out with us. We've been chatting for over 3 hours, so I will let you go. I'm sure you would love to watch a horror movie with the missus. I know I would actually love to probably go start a horror movie right now. That actually sounds like a good idea. Do you got any suggestions? What should I go watch?
Ooh, what do you want?
I kind of want to watch that. I kind of want to watch that evening. What was that one called? The evening.
Oh, Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch that one.
That's a.
What's that on?
It was on Shudder.
Oh, Shudder. That's like a own streaming thing, or?
Yeah, it's I think they're owned by AMC, but it's like a straight up horror streaming site. They just have like nothing but horror movies and shows.
Okay. Cool.
It might be on something else now. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll check.
I can try to look.
Pretty long movie or not too bad?
Probably maybe 2 hours. I don't even know if it's 2 hours. Let's see. It's at a $15 million box office. I'm not seeing the time though. Dude, I don't even know. I feel like it wasn't that long. I want to say an hour and like 30, hour and 40, but I could be wrong.
That's not bad.
I'm not seeing the time.
I'll check it out.
I'll definitely check it out though.
I like that the actor who's like the host, I think he's supposed to be, of the show or something.
I'll tell you though, like it's gonna be good, and then the end's gonna be a little weird. You're gonna be like, "What the shit? What just happened?" But
I kind of like some of those. I kind of like some of those what the fuck endings at the end though.
Okay, then you may like it. I just know I was like, okay, we got a little crazy here, but you know,
like,
all in all, solid movie.
Well, see, the word you used crazy. I'm glad that you used crazy instead of the word lame. There's a vast difference. So you're like, okay, then I saw the eye roll there.
I mean,
but
I liked it. I would rewatch it. One movie I won't rewatch is Night Swim, though. God, that movie is awful.
Night Swim. Okay, yeah, noted. Not to watch.
It's like if you take Pet Sematary and Amityville, but you restrict them to a pool. The pool's haunted. That's the whole premise. It's a haunted swimming pool. So just don't get in the swimming pool. Don't get in
the pool then. Yeah.
But there's a whole movie about this swimming pool like fucking up everything. I was like, dude, what are we watching?
We've already been there. That was Poltergeist, bro.
But I'm just like, come on. Like, I don't know. It wasn't.
Did they have really dead bodies in the pool?
Oh, dude, it's like there's, I don't know, an Indian something that somehow has contaminated the pool.
It's always an Indian burial ground, dude.
Yeah.
Haven't you guys seen that South Park episode?
I mean, yeah. I didn't it was not great. Or what was it? There's another one we watched recently that was not a good review. Late shift or last shift. Last shift was It was not great. That's another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones. I know I've seen
I like
some.
some bad ones though. I
Yeah.
like some shitty B movies.
Right.
I actually do.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of good ones like that.
Like you said, like you drink or just you take it for what it is and you just laugh and you enjoy the shittiness of it.
Right. Yeah, that's dude. I mean, you want a prime example? Go back to 70s Godzilla films. My wife is like, "How the fuck do you watch these?" And I'll sit and watch a whole goddamn Godzilla movie. She's like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life." I'm like, "You're just mad that you don't like it like me. Like, I'm sorry that you don't enjoy this greatness that has hit the cinema. That literally the longest running franchise in history. He's about to turn 70 next month. That's fucking crazy."
And the most recent movie, my God,
Kicked ass.
dude, you hyped that for so long to me, and I've been waiting because everybody was telling me how good. And when I watched it, I remember pausing it like 10 minutes in, and my wife was in the living room, and I like was watching the bedroom. She was like, "Just enjoy your movie. I know you've been wanting to see it." Like me and the kid will go in here. And I come in there, I was like, "Holy shit, this movie is so good." She's like, "You just started." I'm like, "You don't understand. This movie's already so good."
It did start out so
soundtrack
good.
for that movie,
So good. Yeah, the Godzilla soundtracks have been great. They've been paying a lot of homage to certain old themes, like, which is cool too.
Yeah,
I'm excited, dude. I think the MonsterVerse is alive and kicking. I think Kong and Godzilla.
Have you watched Monarch? I know we're getting off, but have you watched
yeah.
Monarch?
Monarch was great.
I need to watch that. That's one on my list
good.
of like stuff to watch soon.
It gets a little odd in the middle of the season, but it doesn't stray too far off track. It's good. They're filming season 2. I liked it. I think it ties a lot, especially so if you've seen all the MonsterVerse movies, it ties a lot of cool stuff in. Okay. And it kind of even is set up some stuff that happened in like the newest Godzilla and Kong. So
hell yeah, I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah.
Final thing I need you to stop getting cool collectibles from your wife.
I'm gonna not do
last
that.
year you had like all this Chevy Chase stuff from National Lampoons.
Yeah, I don't know if I can swing that this year. I don't know if they have
that,
any more.
And now
of that.
you have like Michael sign pop from like H2O.
So this Saturday we're gonna be giving away a Linda Blair signed Exorcist photo.
Okay, listen, I need you to stop. Because you keep getting this stuff, and I'm like, damn. I mean, I have some cool horror collectibles like behind me, but I need you to stop.
They have so many cool
horror stuff.
Horrors, dude. They have a lot. I mean, Tim Curry is one of their exclusive signers, so I'm gonna have to. You and I gotta talk on the side. I can't announce anything on stream, because if I do one thing for one person, then the whole group wants gum, and yeah. We'll work something out. All right, dude.
Great.
Guys, if you guys are not following, of course, dude. Guys, please go follow IamSinister. You guys are looking for some brutal metal vocals, or you guys are just looking for a good time, good place to hang out. I know he's streaming WoW. He's also hopefully going to be doing some sportscasts. He also does his Behind the Vocals podcast. So many great frontman. You guys definitely got to check those podcasts out. When can we catch you live? Do you kind of have a schedule right now? You kind of loose?
So earlier in the week, it's kind of loose. I try to throw in a vocal performance when I can. It just depends on what all's going on. Thursday nights, I do my Sipping with Sin, where we talk about like pop culture, movies. That's when we're like go over all the stuff, music, gaming, whatever. Behind the Vocals really fluctuates depending on the schedule of the guest, so that bounces around a lot. And then other than that, it's just we're either listening to music or we're playing WoW or we're doing something like that. Need to play some spooky games on Fridays probably soon, because we like to do that in October.
Nice.
Some Phasma or something, whatever we find.
There's been a bunch of new ones that I've seen some other people playing too. Like
I want to play Silent Hill 2 really bad. But
yeah, I want to get that remaster, dude. That just came out. That's a good movie. That was a good movie right there that they rendered into that. That's one of those good movie. Yes. Good movie rendition of the game.
One of the few, because Resident Evil just did not even try to keep it in the same.
They got out of control so fast, bro. Yeah. Yep.
Gotta love it, man.
What were your thoughts on Doom?
Doom. Was Rockin' Doom?
Yeah, it was. It was The Rock, and it was Butcher.
Oh, Carl Urban.
Carl Urban,
right?
yeah. I liked it. I thought it
I
wasn't
haven't
too
watched
bad
that.
in a while.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
need to
it's been a
rewatch it.
minute. It's been a minute here.
Honestly, I kind of forgot that existed. But you saying, I was like, oh shit, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even remember it, honestly. So that's.
I just
probably not
remember
good.
that movie did like the first person like shooter view at the end, and that scene
Ooh.
was like super bitchin'. Because that was
Man,
kind of
they
like one of the
really-
first times you saw that in a movie.
They butcher video games on the
Yep.
big screen
Yep, they do.
and TV shows usually.
Yep,
Usually, they've done better lately.
that's true. Fallout was great.
Fallout
Last of
and
Us was
Last of
great.
Us.
Yep,
I've been happy with Last of Us so far.
yep. Fallout was fantastic. Actually,
Fallout did.
It was.
very well.
It really seemed like people who knew what they were doing and genuinely loved the game were there.
What a shocking concept.
Witcher started out good, and I just don't care to watch it now that
Dude, I haven't watched-
Cavill's not in it.
What? 3? Is that his last season? Is there a third season?
Yeah, I think 3 was his
We haven't.
last.
We've watched the first 2 and really liked them, and then
We
3
didn't-
I haven't watched because I know
Yeah.
it's his last season. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I care.
Yeah, that's how we were too. Yep.
The wife keeps saying we need to watch it. I'm just like, but do we though? Does it
Yeah,
matter?
right.
What a concept
Alright.
though. He actually knows the actual lore and the material, and
Dude,
uses that
they
instead of
they
just-
wanted to hear nothing from him. They wanted him to shut up and just act. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, we could talk about this forever, dude. Thank you so much for fucking hanging. It was awesome chatting with you. And yeah, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Excellent to each other.
And much love, everybody.
Party on, dude.
Peace.